On this episode, we discuss Dreamcatcher.
Well, fuck me, Freddy, if you don't take a bunch of Stephen King ideas and put them in a blender.
Yeah. Wow, it's like you stepped right out of the story, Stu.
Yeah. Welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
Hey there, Dan McCoy. I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm also on the Flophouse. I'm the third co-host, and my name is Elliot Kalin. And before we get started, I want to introduce, we have a guest today. I'm very excited to welcome today's guest. He is a comic book writer. He's a comic book artist. He's had an enormous impact on the three of us, myself especially. Among the many things he's done, he's the creator of the beloved characters Milk and Cheese. He's co-creator of the series Beasts of Burden. He's the writer of one of my all-time favorite comics, World's Funnest, the Batmite Mr. Mix-a-Piddle Blick team-up comic, where I guess they're fighting each other. And he's done a ton of work in animation. He co-hosts the horror movie podcast Tear Them Apart, and he just released an enormous book called Nerd Inferno, The Essential Evan Dorkin, which collects seemingly all of his solo humor comics, which makes it automatically the funniest book you will read this year, if not longer. So please join us in welcoming one of the all-time greats of comic book humorists, Evan Dorkin. Evan, thank you so much for watching this piece of shit movie for us.
Thanks for having me, and I'm sorry that I picked this fucking movie. I really, really am sorry. I had already seen it, so obviously, and it's just it's a life-sucking. If you hate Hollywood, this will be right up your alley.
It's not going to change your opinion of Hollywood.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. To pull back the curtain, Evan gave a list of a couple movies to watch, and when I saw Dreamcatcher on that list, I'm like, we're doing that fucking thing. This movie's crazy.
Yeah, so really, we should be blaming Stuart.
You can blame me. I'll be the little devil.
Yeah. I the problem is I haven't seen a ton of movies made after the year 2000 because the second Matrix film kind of just murdered me
at that point.
I know, I honestly did. I stopped going to see movies in the theater.
Yeah. Now that they peaked with the Matrix Reloaded.
It's never going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, part of that is living on Staten Island because going to the movies in Staten Island is it's like paying money to be kicked in the balls.
Do you ever go to the Alamo out there? I made a couple
I haven't.
Trips.
I walked in there just to see the Hong Kong kung fu posters and props. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I haven't actually gone to a movie there because I have no life.
Okay. Well, now is certainly the time. Now that they've abandoned their no phone policy.
Are you serious? Really? Wow.
Yeah,
because in case you want to hear Big Pete talk to Tina,
I was so disappointed when we went there, because they're known for having food, that they didn't have like Staten Island food. Like I couldn't get like fucking arancini or some shit with my when I'm watching.
You got some good mozzarella, and you get punched in the face, just like you were in the 7-Eleven parking lot, or Cacino's or whatever. It's. I'm surprised that we're not just showing Rodney Dangerfield films at that place, or the God, nothing but the good. I saw Goodfellas out here on Staten Island, and the place was filled with low-level made men. Well, not made men.
Wow.
Low-level mobsters and their Asian girlfriends. And my friend and I are watching this thing, and it was a comedy to them. Anytime somebody got kicked, punched, shot, they were just laughing their asses off. So, yeah, the Alamo should be a pisser. I wanted to see some. There was a Godzilla film, but I missed it. What can you do?
They'll probably play it again.
It took them like 4 years. Yeah, because they probably never returned the film.
Before we get into
at gunpoint.
Before we get into Dreamcatcher, Evan, is there anything you want to say about Nerd Inferno, your book, which comes out in a couple days as we're recording this? When this is out, this episode's out, the book will be out.
It'll be out April 28th, so I don't know when this is going to air. But it's a collection of almost all my solo, purported humor comics. Dork, which was a catch-all for a lot of my stuff that I did for magazines and punk zines and fanzines and things like that. And a couple of things from free alt weeklies that we used to be a thing, The milk and cheese is just, it's just milk and cheese. There's really nothing else. It's just
they're
Dairy
carton of
products
milk
gone
and a
bad.
slice of cheese, and they beat people up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole deal. Who I'm bringing back because there's a deadline has come back. The magazine British magazine I used to do the strip for, and they're back as a Kickstarter thing. So I told them that I would do some new milk and cheese stuff because there's it's so hard to find subjects to be angry about these days, but I'll try.
It's a challenge.
I'll try.
And,
It's a challenge.
And does it have all the Eltingville Club?
And it
comics
has
in
the entire. Well, that's the main
wow.
thing. It has the entire Eltingville Club, which was which is about toxic nerd behavior, toxic fan behavior before they started calling it.
Before that disappeared.
When it was, called fan behavior.
In this idyllic I quit right before things got idyllic in the world of fandom online. But all those things they're all out of print from Dark Horse. There's been I won't take up too much time, but there's been a weird revival of the Eltingville Club through TikTok culture and things like that, which spilled into my social media about 3 years ago. And the book, there's these memes based on the pilot, the Adult Swim pilot that failed but aired, and there's a Spanish dub of it, and there's just a resurging underground Eltingville fandom of younger readers in 2026, like about 10 years after the book came out and flopped. It didn't sell out until about 2 years ago. And the demand for a reprint, my editor, Daniel Shaban, said, look, we had done the Beast of Burden omnibus, so he said, let's throw all 3 books in. And it turned out to be a really nice idea at the right time. So it seems to be there's some demand for it. From the little I can gather, it's going to do okay.
I mean, that's great. I mean, I was super excited when I heard about it. I pre-ordered my copy despite owning, I think, most of the material already.
I'm hearing that from I
release.
appreciate that. Yes, I do appreciate that. The family appreciates that.
But I'm excited. And I'll also mention that you're also on Patreon, and I'm a Patreon supporter of yours, and if you ever wanted to have a Patreon membership where every now and then you just get suddenly a surprise that there's a horror illustration in your email that you didn't expect. It's really great.
I treat the Patreon like a job. I mean, I try to always update at least once a week, if not more. And I've got about 1,000 posts up there. It's $1 a month for most of them. And it's been the spine. It's been, freelancing has been really bizarre, especially since COVID. And, we had a cancer situation in the household. So that kind of clipped our wings for a couple of years, and wasn't able to, we weren't able to get as much work done as we used to. So, Sarah suggested doing the Patreon. It's basically been a lifeline. And, but yeah, I put a lot of I post scripts. I put new artwork up, new comics when I can. And I talk about all the failures of my career, because I don't know how to teach by doing. I know how to teach by failing. Yeah. It's like I don't have the I just don't feel it in me to say, here's how you should draw and here's how you should write. But I can say, here's where I fucked up. Here's where I blew my second pilot because I was a nut job. Go to therapy, man. Things like that. I mean, to me, it's more invaluable to learn about how you get screwed over in the comics industry or the animation industry or not. I mean, I was actually treated pretty well in animation, to be honest. I fell into between Space Ghost and Yo Gabba Gabba. I mean, those were good gigs where they actually respected the writers and let you do what you wanted, things like that. But
that
anyway,
doesn't happen much anymore. But
I think it's been outlawed. I think it's actually been. I think the Supreme Court actually nullified that.
Being on our show is at least a public service announcement for me, who didn't realize that Nerd Inferno was coming out, and as an avid dork reader, now I'm like, oh, all of it, please.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, plus extras, plus all the covers and things like that. The House of Fun one shot is in there, and I'm still doing. Basically, dork exists as stuff I put on my Patreon, and I have enough material that I will eventually put a dork 12 out and keep it going here and there. But I'm in my 60s. I'm just ready to die.
But you got to put Dork number 12 out first. Well, wait, I think the
Somebody
readiness
can
to die.
assemble it. I don't know how to do the computer stuff. I don't know how to actually put an issue. Like, I couldn't make a 8-page fanzine if you put a gun to my head.
But the readiness to die may be more influenced by the fact that you had to watch Dreamcatcher for today's episode than anything else.
Yeah, we've been beating around the bush, but
like Dream Killer is much more apt because it's kind of destroyed my will to live and create.
Well, I apologize that we're going to probably...
We haven't even started it.
We're going to go through in reasonable detail.
Excellent.
We watch.
Scrape open all those wounds.
I'm very glad to have you guys steward me through this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely need
steward you.
Yeah. I'm named after the steward of Dreamcatcher.
with a D. Yeah. I didn't mean to invoke, but yes. Because I don't know a lot. I don't know who a lot of the people involved with this were. I mean, I know who the old people who failed miserably are, but I don't know the relatively young actors of the time. I did.
They're
look
all very old now.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, it's amazing to see. Usually you
I will
watch
say osteoporosis.
Usually you watch an older movie and there's actors in it who are become bigger stars, and you're like, oh wow, look at how handsome they were then. And this is Timothy Olyphant.
He looks terrible.
I'm not terrible,
Well,
but
compared to how
like
handsome
garbage.
he got later.
he doesn't look. He doesn't look as handsome.
Which one
as
is Timothy Olyphant?
He's the car salesman who.
Holy good night! What was his problem?
Well,
Right? Didn't he look absolutely in fear half the time?
Yeah, I think he grew into his face, and he got a better haircut at some point.
And he's got this kind of Marco.
Start wearing cowboy hats.
Terrified Marco Rubio face.
yeah. No, it's
very
true.
plastic, very sculpted, very weird.
Yeah, but then he went on to become the handsomest cowboy on TV. Yeah.
Is he famous from something?
Well, he was a star of Justified
And Deadwood.
and Deadwood.
Yeah, he became-
Deadwood I've heard of. Deadwood, that's where the Cowboys curse, right?
He
Yes,
became
they
like
curse a lot. Yeah.
Home of the
so
cursing cowboy.
charismatic and sexy later on. It's
But wow,
very
what
funny
happened?
to see him here.
Everybody in this movie is stunted.
Yeah. They're all. I mean, but you have to understand because it's directed by a new guy and by the name of Lawrence Kasdan. Wait, what?
Yeah, a guy who's never worked with an ensemble of actors before or written dialogue for them to say.
Well,
I feel like the dialogue is the work of one Mr. Stephen King.
It is the Stephen Kingiest of movies, and the dialogue especially, that there's so much made up slang that nobody has ever used.
Has he never had friends? Did he always imagine his friends made up nicknames?
I actually said, has he ever socialized? Yeah. And the thing is, the thing is to review this movie is really, you got to talk about Stephen King. You can't help it.
Yeah.
I mean, he looms so large over Hollywood and over books, but I'm a fan of Stephen King as a person. He seems like a good guy who wants the world to be better. I grew up as a big Stephen King fan. I read everything as it came out. I mean,
what was your cutoff? What was the last one? Because I feel like a lot of people read everything and then there's a last one.
Mine was Tommyknockers.
Oh, okay. Mine was
that
a little
one
later.
I could not finish that one, and I love Stephen King. But
the engines on my plane were already burning because Thinner, which was just a pulp goof, but it was just, I was just like, whoa, wait a second. I see a dent in the armor. This isn't great. And I fucking wanted to throw it across the room when they got to, especially when they got to that scene.
Yes, when they get to the end,
and Tommyknocker.
Cocaine makes you write crazy endings.
I mean, to be fair to Stephen King, he doesn't like Tommyknockers either, and he's talked about how I don't remember writing that book. What happens in that book?
Can you imagine not remembering?
No,
writing an entire book.
I can imagine not remembering.
Well, not for him, but
like one crazy night where you're like, it's a crazy night. You're like, what happened then? I don't remember. But to not remember writing an entire book, I wrote one comic book script when I was breaking into the industry, high on cocaine. Okay, and I thought it was brilliant. I woke up the next day and I went, do over. What I could not understand.
Well, wouldn't do all those things.
It was barely English. It was Esperanto for 24 pages of nonsense. But I didn't have people who would buy it, so I had to rip it up and do it over again, unlike Stephen King.
But that kind of cooler head prevailing, like the funny thing to me is that Stephen King writes this like weird gibberish slang that no one's ever heard. And I understand keeping some of the unworkable plot elements, maybe because you're like, oh, well, that's the plot. I got to keep the plot of the best-selling book or whatever. But why William Goldman, when typing this up, didn't be like, nope, when he was writing some of that stuff?
Apparently, that's what's fascinating about this film is that you've got Lawrence Kasdan. Whether you're a fan or not, you got Lawrence Kasdan and William Goldman, two people renowned for writing scripts.
Yeah.
And they turned this thing out, which, and the thing is, King wrote this in 2021. So it's not,
quick turnaround.
And he did write it after getting hit by a car and he was on Oxy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's back to his it's back to his drug days in a lot of ways. And it feels like Tommy Knockers. I haven't read Dreamcatcher, and I'm not going to.
I've actually never read the book of it. Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted after rewatching
I am
it
too,
it feels
because
so weird.
There's got to be a lot more fuckaroo and fuckery in there.
There's got to be.
I keep saying to
Fighting
myself
big
that
ones.
at some point I'm going to read through all of his books, the ones I've read before and the ones I never read. But I know, and like, am I really going to go all the way to the last 25 years or so of them? I'm not so sure, but I'm curious to read Dreamcatcher because it feels like one where if it didn't have Stephen King's name on it, you wouldn't try to make it into a movie.
Yeah.
No,
but also
no,
I know that it's still bad material. Like it still probably doesn't work that well, but I can imagine it working better in a book where your brain is creating some of this stuff.
The interior, you can tell from the movie that there's an interior monologue going on in at least one of the major characters that's super important to the book, and they literalize it. I mean, well, I guess, and it's just awful. But they do this again. He brings back the inner monologue thing with the physicality, creating a literal headspace in the movie, which works very poorly. And they bring that back in Dr. Sleep, which is one of the few other adaptations I've seen. But Dr. Sleep feels like this. Dr. Sleep has a lot of the same problems any King adaptation has, especially when it's bloated and you don't want to touch it because you'll piss the fans off. But it feels like there's a surer hand. I mean, Dr. Sleep feels like a movie.
I feel like Mike Flanagan has a better understanding.
I didn't love Dr. Sleep because there's things in it that I feel are the King's things that I just did not care for. The superhero aspects of, flying and craziness and whatnot. And also, but the Stephen King villains, they talk like they're from the 60s or 50s. I mean, they just don't work for me. The woman with the hat and all that. I did not feel.
Isn't that her name is the Hat, right?
Yeah,
Rebecca Ferguson.
It's called the Hat.
Goony. It's just Goonies. You wouldn't want your D&D DM to be fucking turning these concepts into your game.
It feels like
be like, come on, Brad, this is bullshit. Come on.
I feel like about Stephen King the same way that I felt about kind of later John Carpenter, where it was like, so it felt like he needed to get things out of his system, and then someone else had to be like, well, no one needs to see this. Let's just take it away and not publish that one or not make
time to just go play video games and watch basketball. John.
That's what's great. Yeah, Carpenter's just like, I don't need to keep doing this. I'm just going to get high and play.
And please send me checks for adapting my stuff.
God bless him. Yeah. But I mean, still, I could have said Ghosts of Mars. We could be talking about Ghosts of Mars right now.
We could have been. But we're talking about Dreamcatcher. Should we start the plot of the movie?
We've dithered around the margins enough. It's funny that you say
it, but now we have to stab it.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that you don't recognize these people because my first note is like, I'm going to use actor names for the most part because they're recognizable.
It's really hard to remember who they are unless they have a terrible nickname.
Jonesy, Beaver.
Eve and Jonesy is all I can fucking
remember. Thomas Jane is one of the ones not with a nickname that makes them more interesting. So I'm just going to call him Thomas Jane. He's a therapist. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I think it would not serve us well.
Go for it. I don't have plans.
Well, we meet him. He is unethically using his psychic powers to look inside the brain of a patient
to fat shame him.
Yeah.
That was just awful. Though.
I think he's a bad therapist, but the number of times I've been in therapy and I wish that my therapist could just look inside my head and see, so I didn't have to describe it. That would be great. If it was
also, you save a lot of money.
Yes, it's just the one session. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm going for 6 years now. I don't have insurance. I can just go in there and go, yada yada yada. You hate yourself. You have to work on it. I'd be like, okay, great. I'm going to White Castle. Thanks for everything.
A place
but not only do they fat shame this, but because this is Stephen King, the guy collapses the bench, collapses the couch he's sitting on, which is just.
It's insult to injury.
I do also love that the movie does a very clever way to slip in that he went to Harvard.
But by showing his Harvard degree on the wall?
Yeah.
But they're like, we got to make sure everybody knows he went to Harvard. Like
sure
a person who went to Harvard.
Does he not?
He shoots it, yeah.
But speaking of shooting, this mysterious psychic therapist, pulls out a gun. He's going to kill himself, but he's interrupted by a call from Damian Lewis, who's Jonesy.
Now, here's something This is something that got to me a little bit was he never at no point was I like, there's inner turmoil in this guy that would lead him to potentially take his own life. Like it seemed so.
We're just meeting him. I mean,
but later on in the movie.
I'm sure later on they'll fill in why all four guys are messed up.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it does. You're right. That does not pay off in any way. Now that I think about it.
No, he doesn't. None of it. You don't know why anybody's got a problem.
No. Yeah. They all seem like they've been really hurt. It's almost like. The movie, something happened in the backstory of the characters that we never see and we don't know about. Because when we do see their backstory, it's just them being psychic together, finding missing kids.
But you don't find out. You don't even have the trope of being psychic has fucked their lives up because it's too much noise in their heads. You've got the therapist is just suicidal. That's it. That's his character trait. You've got suicidal, toothpick. Other guy.
That's what it should have been his nickname. Instead of Beeve.
Yeah. Beavers eat toothpicks.
Damian Lewis.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
That's true.
That's more brilliant than most of the film.
Yeah, I changed my mind. It's a great movie.
Fuck me, Freddy. It's right.
Oh, shit. Don't. Because I'm afraid we're going to have to start saying these things in real life. These.
Later on when they're like, is this a fuckaroo? No, it's a fuckery. I'm like, well, come on. Please don't.
Same shit, different day, guys. SSDD.
Unless you're going to give me like a David Lynch Dune glossary program to look at during the movie. You know,
no, this movie behave like it's a common
this movie
term,
does need a Clockwork Orange. You wonder if the book has a Clockwork Orange glossary in the back. You know, red Crawvy fuckaroo.
Jonesy wants them to go up to the cabin for someone named Duddits. We'll learn that later on this is the way the character says his name, which is actually Dudley, I believe. But
because Dudley Moore was going to play the part originally.
But early in the movie, audiences can be forgiven for being like, "What's a Duddits?"
Dudley Manlove could have been in there.
Jonesy's a teacher. He has an interaction with a student that shows he's also psychic. We get car dealer Timothy Oliphant.
He's the good kind of psychic. He's like you cheated on a test, but you know what? You're a good kid. You're poor, so I feel bad. I feel sympathy for you
because they had to show They had to show his dirty ripped up sneakers something like 17 times in that scene. They just kept putting insert shots of in case you didn't get it. He's poor. And
they're from the same bad part of Maine because in Stephen King stories, like 80% of the country's population lives in Maine, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
We meet car dealer Timothy Oliphant. He tries to hit on a lady with his own psychic powers, but only creeps her out.
This goes on for so long. That he's using his psychic powers to help her find her keys, and I think what creeps her out is the hitting on at the end. Like,
yes, but like I think that she's like spooked by the fact that he seemingly has psychic powers.
Except all I kept thinking though is that if I met somebody who found my keys using psychic abilities, I'd be like, "Holy shit! I should maybe get to know this person."
Yeah, I would think it was cool.
I would think it was cool.
She's terrified by it.
I mean, he does come off as absolutely creepy.
Yes. But, which is wild because it's Timothy Oliphant, who we were talking about before we started taping, became a very handsome,
I feel like
charismatic.
He's been slimy, but this is the first time he's seemed creepy.
But the scene comes off like you're supposed to feel that she's unnerved by his psychic ability. But I would think the entire audience is just like, you know.
No, it's the way he's staring at her. Really.
He does have this
asking her out for clams.
And asking her for clams, which is not a good first date.
Bullfrog stare at her. He seems very desperate, and I don't know if he's supposed to be. He just
we got one more member of the crew. That's Jason Lee playing Beaver, and his personality is he's always got a toothpick,
and he's an asshole because there has to be an asshole.
He's the one who's like the wisecracker. He's the wisecracking asshole.
And he's a Scientologist, right?
Is he?
Jason Lee-
Well, Jason Lee is.
Jason Lee is no longer part of Scientology. He doesn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
See that?
I'm very
that
protective of him
they
because
kicked him out?
he owns a store in my neighborhood. So
Okay.
I'm protective of him.
Really?
Yeah.
So you still
Okay,
have
he
skateboards?
made it through it. Okay.
He has
Elliot, if we pay you enough money, can you go in there and just yell Dreamcatcher and punch him in the face?
No.
I mean, it'd have to be a pretty big amount of money. We'll talk about it afterwards. We'll talk
Well,
afterwards.
He's brought me
$12.
enjoyment in other projects.
$12.
We'll talk. We'll talk. Yeah. I think we can come to terms we're all agreeable with.
$15. We can raise money. We can crowdfund this, I'm sure. He'll probably put in $5.
What was the store selling?
Oh, it sells camera equipment. He's on to photography now. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, Jason Lee tells Damian Lewis over the phone to be careful. He's got some kind of bad premonition, and on his way home, sure enough, Jonesy walks right out into traffic.
Now, I
gets
would like to
slammed by
take a
a car.
moment.
He gets Meet Joe Blacked by those cars.
It looks so
Yeah,
funny.
I thought he got killed by CGI at first. I thought, this is interesting. This
There's
is like
a couple of open questions here about Damian Lewis's character. One, this is a weird performance. Even before he has a British alien in his head that's taking over his body, it's
Yes.
already a weird performance. But also, they go out of their way to say that he is dead, basically. Like, you see from his point of view, they're like, there's nothing we can do. But then the next scene, he's just hobbling around with the other characters. And I was like,
absolutely no support for that scene. They
Yeah.
don't.
In the ambulance, we get Duddits, our first viewing of Duddits as a boy. He's got some sort of mental disability, it seems, and he says, "Watch out for Mr. Gay," and then fade out, and we're like, "Did he die?" But I guess Duddits' power brought him back to life.
and this is 2003, this movie, so they could be warning people about gay people. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So these movies could still be on the wrong side of that thing. You know,
Yeah,
so.
Well, certainly comes up Mr. Gay. I mean, what are you supposed to make of that, right? It's just Stephen King being creative. You know,
You're like, that is like old Southern lady level of like damning someone by seemingly say something nice.
but I mean, you have a ghostly Down syndrome patient saying, "Beware of Mr. Gay."
Yes, it's
And
some of the worst.
And Hollywood jumps up in their seats and
We
just
gotta do it. We gotta make this movie.
gotta do this as it is. No, you gotta play it as it lies.
And as we learn later, this is something that Duddits has known about since they were children, but has not thought fit to mention at any point.
But he had to wait until you get hit by cars to tell you.
It's all part of his grand scheme because he needs him to have been
Duddits
hit by
couldn't get a
cars.
fucking notepad and a pen.
No.
We get a caption that says 6 months later, and this plays over shots of a Dreamcatcher because that's the title of the movie. And
That's where I pointed the screen to tell my wife that's the Dreamcatcher.
That was
very
the meme
happy.
of Leo DiCaprio pointing at the screen, except he's got a Dreamcatcher for a head. Yeah.
There you go.
I read a Wikipedia about the book that at the end of it, I guess sort of explains why it's called Dreamcatcher, and I've already forgotten why. Like, honestly, even in the book, it seems like that's a dumb idea. It doesn't really.
It's so forced on the film. You know, King likes to bring in Native Americans or Black culture to throw this like patois of folk horror or some grounding for the bullshit. The Dreamcatcher in this is that, God damn it. A Dreamcatcher is supposed to catch is a Native American that's supposed to
Catch all the
protect you
bad
from
dreams, right?
bad dreams, which is absolutely stupid in the context of this film.
Well, it points to, like, I bet Stephen King could write a pretty great movie about like the collection of nightmares and something like loose or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's its own concept, and they don't use it really.
No, it's that they have a big Dreamcatcher in their house. They're like, "Yep, that's our Dreamcatcher, all right." And then later they're like, "To Duddits, our Dreamcatcher." And I'm like, how? How? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
The book is probably. I mean, the book is thick, and it's obviously got more time to delve into all this shit. But there's probably all this stuff because later on, when we get into the alien stuff, they have a.
Wait, there's alien stuff?
Yeah, I hate to tell you, but that's where this is going. But the aliens do this, like, falsity thing. They have this lying ability of projecting illusions and speak and talk. They do this bullshit, and that's, I guess, the Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
I looked up the end of the
It doesn't
Wikipedia.
work. It doesn't work.
So apparently in the novel, as it says here, It is revealed that Jonesy was immune to the alien fungus all along, and Mr. Gray was only able to take over his mind because he believed it could. The idea being caught as in a Dreamcatcher. I'm like, that doesn't...
Holy shit!
That's way dumber than I thought.
That's really dumb.
That's idiotic. I'm sorry I said anything in the last 5 minutes about this because I feel like I'm not getting paid to work here. I mean,
let me I'm gonna go take a look at stenographer. Can you read back what Evan was saying?
No, I
yes,
don't want
it said Stephen King, master storyteller. It all comes together. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure with more
I
time to develop, it explains it super clearly.
I gave Dreamcatcher more credit than Dreamcatcher. It's amazing because as writers, and anybody listening, you go into a work situation or try to get a job, and you bust your fucking ass trying to make your plot, make your characters, make things make sense, and then you get, Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
And you couldn't sell it in a million years on your own name. Absolutely not. Anyway, sorry.
No, they've made it out to the cabin. All 4 guys are at the cabin. 6 months later, Jonesy has recovered with mysterious speed, and he says that when he was hit, it was because he saw Duddits gesturing to him from across the street, and he walked into the street.
Like
we had not seen this previously.
Because I thought I had missed something. When he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw Duddits there," I was like, "I don't remember seeing Duddits."
No, he's not in there. It's a cheat. It's a real weird cheat because they know that their idea is stupid and looks ridiculous. Your friend that you haven't seen in years shows up as his childhood guy.
Yes.
In his underwear. Either you go the other way or you go, hold on, wait for the light.
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
You take the paper bag wrapped liquor bottle you've been sipping off of, and you dump it out, and you're like, never again.
Yeah.
I mean, when they finally do show it, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like a G.G. Allen concerts across the street or something like that, And it's like, but he walks into all the CGI trap. It's not like, that Final Destination car,
sure.
the silent Final Destination car that wipes you out of nowhere. There's cars go. He just plays the
Frogger,
worst game of Frogger ever.
And he doesn't. It's not like he doesn't seem as if he's about to run across. Like, oh no, an emergency. He just steps right in.
And it looks like he's possessed or something, or but he's not. That's never discussed.
And also, like, if you saw your friend gesturing at you across the street, you would still look, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, oh man, I got to get smushed first.
Yeah, and it is an amazingly bad way to start your drama off. He gets hit by multiple cars. He's destroyed. People say he's dead. Then he's told not to look out for him, and then he's in a cabin 6 months later.
Yeah,
I mean, the only flaw in an otherwise perfect.
If only our bodies could all recover this quickly. That's the joy of being he's like 30s.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
And time is interesting in this film because I think that it's been a 20-year gap from when they're kids.
Yeah.
But they all talk like they're
from the 50s. Yeah.
They talk like they're still kids. Yeah.
Well, that's
the Stand By Me bullshit.
That's the next thing. They all have some unfunny banter for a while. The idea of a memory warehouse is introduced, and we get, as Evan suggested, some very literal visual representations of Jonesy going through his memory warehouse.
Again, a thing that might work in a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might.
But we also get Stephen King's hey fellow kids. We get him holding a skateboard and playing what's his face? I'm blanking out on the
Steve
singer.
Buscemi?
Yeah, the singer, Roy Orbison. We get Roy Orbison rock and roll from these.
Oh yeah.
Who grew up in the 90s or the 80s, and
also on Ooby Dooby.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, when he's like, don't forget the words to Blue Bayou, right? And I'm like, what do you?
Yeah, Blue Bayou. That was a big hit in 1980, 90. Sure.
But yeah, we get a lot of this slang that was previously mentioned. Fuckaroo, fuckaro, Jesus Christ bananas comes in. So later on, someone says a real Jabba-Nava.
Jabba-Nava was...
But that's... what's funny is then when Morgan Freeman gets home later, it's like he's trying to outdo them because he's like, "Hey, buddy, buckaroo, okay, buddy boy, buckaroo
He's gone
boy."
back to Easy Reader days or something like that. That's a real Jabba-Nava there.
Pissing in the same latrine.
All the gorilla. The thing that's really bad about that sequence is are we going to go through the whole thing and then talk about? I don't understand.
No, we can talk as we go.
Okay, so. What's really terrible about that whole, getting to know these guys, which you don't actually get to know them at all because it's just horrible banter, which is why, we were joking before. Does Stephen King have friends? Does he talk to people? because it seems to be this whole inner life writing. It's just devoid of real life. But whatever you want to say about Kasdan and Goldman, to watch these are actors on a set speaking lines, wearing makeup, being lit. It is such a phony, synthetic sequence. It is just so, it doesn't even reach the level of commercial advertising reality. It is just so forced, and it's depressing because it's like, it really does feel like, hey, fellow kids. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
But you're kind of right. If they started talking about, have you ever, they do start talking about Viagra at one point, right? And it fails to reach the level of reality of a Viagra commercial where people are like, I've been having a little bit of trouble with the old lady. Well, my doctor gave me some advice. Like, it feels like they're failing to meet that
Viagra
level
is also the most recent, I think, pop culture or, world reference that's in, because we also have Mars bars, we have Louisville Sluggers. I mean, I'm old enough to get this shit. Maybe you guys are close enough. But it's like, when's the last time you heard the word Louisville Slugger in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes you, there's just no way into this film to try to enjoy it. It's just impenetrable.
Yeah. And it's filled with seemingly irrelevant stuff. Like we get a flashback to Derry, one of Stephen King's favorite locations.
Derry, Ireland, The trouble.
It's like his Toronto. It's like the cheapest place to film or something.
We see the four.
It's cheaper to write things set in
Derry.
Derry. He's like, it's cheaper to write a novel set in Derry. You don't know. It's just like everything's cheaper.
I know people there. I have deals.
Our child versions of our four leads find a shirt and a Scooby-Doo lunchbox, and that's because they've been ripped off of Duddits by some bullies.
The Scooby-Doo references may be the worst of the references in the movie.
Yes.
Well, to have a character in it, to have a character in a, just to spoil something, but to have a character in the serious climax of the movie go, ooby dooby doo, we got some work to do now. It
is amazing. It's amazing that survived at every level of filmmaking, and that probably got in there.
So this poor kid is being bullied by some high schoolers, I think, and one of them's the captain of the football team who is trying to force feed him a dog turd, and I'm like, just to do that means he has to touch a dog turd.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, also, like, he is, shamed into backing off. Basically, like, we'll tell everyone in school how you get your kicks. I'm like, I hate to tell you guys, but little kids are, like, sociopaths. They're going to side with the captain of the football team.
He says, we're going to tell the world, which was pretty hilarious. We're going to tell the world that you feed this guy. And also, the idea that they've somehow never met this kid before. Like, where did he come from?
I believe he went to a different school. I think they do address that he went to like a special needs school.
They actually backed something up in this movie? My God.
I mean, I don't know how well, but...
I mean, there must have been some scene that got cut that shows why they don't get the shit kicked out of them the next time they leave the house.
It makes no sense. I mean, and it's funny because they really are a Temu Stephen King bully group. They seem to be...
Yes.
I mean, what's really sad about it is that the first shot you get in the flashback is them walking. And no one on earth can see that without going, this is Stand By Me.
Yeah, 100%.
It just looks like a terrible Stand By Me flashback. And in fact, I think the next time we flash back, they're walking by train tracks, which is like, it just should not be allowed, you know?
It should be illegal.
Yeah, dead bodies littered everywhere.
It's vaguely insulting and kind of really cheap and beneath filmmakers. To go that far? I mean, the film is such a grab bag. King things in the first place.
It does feel like
had Christine driving by, and then Cujo runs by.
It feels like they've ordered Stephen King by the pound. And they're just like, 10 pounds of Stephen King. And they're just, do we specify what parts we get? No, they just slop it all into a bag of Stephen King. And then they
it doesn't matter. Snouts.
But they befriend Duddits. That's the whole point of that.
Yes.
Back in the present, Damian Lewis is in a hunter's blind, and he sees this injured man walking through the show and brings him inside.
To the show? Through the snow, probably, right?
The show.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's not walking through
the show.
He's not walking through a production of Schmigadoon on Broadway now.
I hear Smash Mouth is playing in this forest, he says.
being called by the siren song of
That's
Smash
the perfect
Mouth.
band for this film. Excuse me, Roy Orbison and Linda Ronstadt. So.
This ended in All-Star.
Is Del Shannon performing around here? Oh yeah, huge superstar, Del Shannon. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He brings him inside.
Del Shannon.
He brings this man inside where the man can't stop burping and farting, and he's got a rash too.
So
This is
the movie gets super pleasant.
So this is when the movie, I feel like the movie reaches, it's had a number of tests that it has failed up to this point. But this is when it reaches the hardest test and the easiest to fail, and which is, can this movie maintain a tone of horror when you have a character who's just burping and farting as loud as possible?
I think, like Roger Ebert had a quote where it's like, this movie has too many farts for a movie that's supposed to be taken seriously. Something like that.
How many farts is there? Mr. Owl, how many farts?
He could, the tortoise could never figure it out without biting. Yeah.
Please. Yeah. This and the thing is also, it's just the actor. It's just such a sitcom level kind of everything. Yeah. The guys it's just ludicrous. It's like. This is like, an episode of Alice or something with it, Well,
but also there's clearly something seriously wrong with him. And they're like,
well, his
okay,
belly's
buddy?
distended like there's a thing in there.
He's got a balloon in his chest and he's got red makeup all over his face. Yeah. And he's acting really badly.
And one of them's like, go sleep in my bed.
Yeah, exactly. These are the nicest guys. If
they're the
nicest
ever
being fed a turd by bullies, they will show up to stop you.
But that's what Jonesy and the Beeve are up to. They're helping Farty.
The Beeve shows up eventually and says some I can't remember that one. He has some other great Bond mods.
Fart-related references.
Meanwhile, what?
I was going to say, what's Tom Jane?
Tom Jane and Tim Oliphant are coming back to the cabin. They see someone sitting in the middle of the road, and they swerve to avoid them, flip their truck, and investigate. This woman in the snow, she's nearly frozen.
This little trip of theirs is not going well so
far. No. These guys are really boring.
Also farting a lot.
Super fuck-ups.
Yeah.
They're very bad at what they're doing. Like, I don't know why they're driving so fast down a snowy woodland road that he can't stop.
They do cover this in a very Stephen King way. They have, how they have their buddy shtick, but they start they've got to get over this hill, so they start, they make this, come on, pump it or some dumb thing like, and it's terrible.
That's right.
And it makes no sense.
But I would say this is
us to them crashing outside the farting woman.
Yeah, this is up there, maybe ahead of Deliverance in terms of guys' trips out that don't go well.
Yes,
Farting Woman would be a good alternative to Burning Man, I think.
Yes,
that's an aside. Sorry, an aside.
Or like a
Ooby Dooby too.
An inn or a tavern.
The
Farting Woman.
Yeah, it's like a pub in a particularly poorly run Dungeons and Dragons game.
That's
get a tankard of ale, the Farting Woman. Yeah,
that's where you beat the bard up, right? Always got to kick the bard's ass. Bite my bag. He says, "Bite my bag."
Bite my bag at one point. Yeah.
At the cabin,
his bag of holding, of course. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Beeve and Jonesy, Lee and Lewis see a bunch of animals running away. They also have the rash, and a helicopter arrives. It's hovering above them with a megaphone. This whole area is under quarantine. They have to stay put. It'll be resolved within 48 hours. And inside the helicopter, Morgan Freeman, our other big
with some
star
great
of the
eyebrows.
Picture.
Those eyebrows are amazing.
George Whipple's fucking flying this thing.
That's amazing, those eyebrows. I mean, you can't stop staring at them in every scene.
Regional newsman George Whipple is
oh, my God.
Jonesy and the Beeve, they see a blood trail to the bathroom. They check on the sick man. He is dead on the toilet, bleeding from the rectum. Something swimming around in the toilet.
So this is when they got to this part of the script and they said, green light it.
Yeah.
Boffo B.O. Yeah.
This is the part where everybody needs to go into people's houses and remove Oscars.
Lee is stuck on the toilet, trying to hold it down. He's like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon 2. He can't move.
Definitely, yeah. But you got to get into the toothpick. You got to get the toothpick.
But he drops his toothpicks. They're dropped in the bloody feces.
Blood. There's blood everywhere.
There's just blood everywhere. And they drop on the floor, and he is like trying to reach for one, but still trying to hold down the toilet seat. It's like, let your toothpicks go. They're covered in blood.
The dumbest behavior.
dumbest things you've ever seen in a film. And not only that, but they give him a chance to think about it because he reaches for a toothpick and the creature it bounces him up in the air.
Yeah.
So he gets, you know what I mean? Somebody actually says, hang on, Kemosabe.
Yeah.
There's an ass monster in the toilet below you. If you reach for that, it can come out. I mean, he's clearly given the choice, and he does it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's alone because Jonesy's going to get some duct tape or whatever to tape it down.
The toilet seat down.
But yeah,
guys, we've all been there, right?
Yes.
So Beeve is like reaching for a toothpick that's fallen. He does like go for the one that's like not in the blood,
It's
but
still
it's
on the
still
floor
the
of the
bathroom
bathroom.
floor.
He doesn't need a toothpick to live.
Yeah.
There's no reason for. I mean, I realize his whole personality is he has a toothpick in his head. Okay,
Yeah.
but he's not going to die without the toothpick.
This
It's
is
not-
the
This is
scene is
definitely the behavior of the type of person who wears shoes in other people's houses, right?
yeah.
Interesting.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what?
I mean, but it's written as if he's reaching for like his insulin shot or his inhaler.
Right. No, you would
know.
think that this is the asthma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The asthma scene. That's
Even if it was
Yeah.
a cigarette, at least I'd be like,
Right,
okay.
that's what I was saying. Okay, he's nervous. I don't know, but I mean, a fucking. He can't wait for a toothpick. Unfucking believable.
This is the- and
How
this
do you
is
read
one of
that
two-
script?
This is one of two scenes where someone fumbles with something,
Yes.
and you see a whole bunch of things falls because there's to
In
do with
slow
matches
motion.
later. Yeah, in
Yeah.
slow motion.
Yeah.
Because you might miss it. The audience might not. You might blink and not know that they dropped the object. It's actually. I mean, it's not germane to the movie, but it's amazing. You had to drink every time there was a insert shot or two guys looking at each other so that you know that the point was made. It is such a anxious movie.
Yeah.
It really doesn't think that audiences have eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's constantly. Did you see that? The toothpicks?
Well, there's also the point when all the animals. My wife pointed this out. When
Oh,
all
my
the
God.
animals are like going away from whatever came.
The Disney scene, yeah.
And she's like, the one guy's like, "Hey, Beeve," and Beeve doesn't do anything, and he's like, "Beaver, Beaver," until he like turns around and looks, or Jonesy, I don't remember
Yeah.
which one, but
Yeah.
it's like, no, you would react like human beings react to things.
No, the
like he would have
reactions
turned
are-
around.
It's
The
also the kind of thing
reactions
you
are
would probably
horrible.
hear before you didn't have to see it. I mean, that kind of stuff happens in movies all the time where like
Well-
you don't notice the thing is happening until you see it, even if it's it would be a loud thing, you know.
Also, if
I
I,
like that
saw
the
that
animals are-
happening,
I like that the animals are also really orally.
they're like just
And
walking
you
on a
kind
nice
of
little
expect
line.
like Sleeping Beauty, Disney Sleeping Beauty, to walk through
Well,
in that scene. Birds on her, adjoining her. It's a ridiculous scene.
Speaking of another
it
Disney
sounds great in
movie-
the book, I bet, because that's an
Yeah.
interesting. The reaction of flora, blah, blah, of fauna. Oh, the frogs. There's no noise.
Right.
That is.
Yeah.
I always enjoy that in a movie where something big and bad is coming. But it's like, what is it reacting? You don't know what it's actually reacting to.
Yeah.
How do
Staying
they
on the
know what's
Disney
going on?
thing,
A helicopter?
I would think, oh, Bambi. Like if I saw that
Yeah.
happening, I would be like, oh, there's a forest fire coming this way. We have to leave this cabin. I
Exactly.
wouldn't be like, let's hang out.
But they've been told by the helicopter they're quarantined, which Jason Lee seems to take
I
very
guess so.
personally. He's like, "We got a sick man down here."
Oh,
They're
he
like,
goes
yeah,
crazy.
You're quarantined. And he goes, "No."
They set it up as if Beeve is going to have a pole fight with Morgan Freeman later because he gives him the finger, and then they show Morgan Freeman staring him down. It's like, it's wow. Is it bad?
Jason Lee doesn't have that finger for very long.
No.
No, that's true.
He gets
That's my
instant
favorite
karma
scene.
for his toothpick idiocy, and he like slips. The thing comes out of the toilet. It's like this worm penis tentacle with big rows of teeth, and it immediately eats
It's an
his
okay.
fingers.
It's an okay kind of slimy alien monster thing. It's all right. It's not great.
Doesn't
Well,
it actually?
I didn't
Doesn't
make
it
any
first?
quality.
No, I'm just saying.
judgments.
I'm just saying
Okay.
it for the audience.
Yeah.
Doesn't it bite him in the crotch? The first thing it does.
I think
No,
later
that's-
it bites
that's
Thomas
Timothy
Jane.
Oliphant.
There's two. There's
Timothy
two.
Oliphant.
Two crotch shots. If I
Oh,
this thing comes out of and it starts fucking with him, and then it eventually gets him. It takes his
Yeah.
finger, but I believe it bites him in the crotch because later on we have a second crotch
Oh, could be.
bite with
yeah.
plastic.
Well, either
finger.
way, he gets killed.
Yes, I think he gets his crotch grabbed and bit on the back of the neck.
Jonesy locks it in the
Some people
bathroom,
like
but
that.
it gets out. It crawls past him towards this new strange creature who's just arrived. It's a big gray alien that's sort of vaguely close encounter-ish. This alien leans in towards Lewis before his head explodes into a red mist that I guess Lewis breathes in.
Yep.
Cut to the local military encampment where Morgan Freeman.
This is where plot 3 of the movie rams itself into plots 1 and 2.
You get these nice, like, sub Spielbergian military music and shots with a budget that, you just kind of see money going across his face. We're opening this up.
Morgan Freeman talks to his second in command, played by Tom Sizemore.
That's a good sign right there, right?
Yeah.
Just need Michael Madsen to walk in.
But that's the problem with casting Tom Sizemore. I was waiting for that character to lose it the entire movie.
Sleazeball,
yeah, but he's very nice. Even when weird stuff happens.
Oh, you think weird stuff happens?
We get some info dump stuff that doesn't really clear much up, but these gray aliens have been here before. They're trying to infect people with some kind of fungus, which also causes people to sprout these things that are called shit weasels.
They call the fungus virus Ripley as a reference to Alien, which they have to mention in the movie as a reference to Alien. Yeah.
It's really bad when you're ripping something off and then you actually acknowledge it.
Well, he's also called Colonel Curtis, which is obviously an allusion to Colonel Kurtz, which he actually was Colonel Kurtz in the book. So I guess that was one case where William Goldman was like, this is too obvious. We got to settle this up a little bit.
And he's a leader to a special unit of the military that just tracks down alien outbreaks and does not answer to anyone else.
Right? Yeah, they're the Blue Boy Buckaroos or whatever.
Blue Boy
They don't answer to logic. 25 years they've been doing this. And they know like 12 sentences about what they're doing, and they give it all to you.
It's also one of those things where if you've been doing this for 25 years, it seems like the thing that would probably help you is for the public to be aware of this issue and be on guard against it so that you would so that they can help to deal with it. Instead, they've kept it a secret all this time. But it's not even like, and we've gotten all this stuff from the alien technology or something like that. Like, we can't let the Russians know about this.
When you see later in the film what the alien invasion comprises, it makes absolutely no sense that everybody on Earth hasn't seen this before.
Yeah.
This is not like they don't send like a SEAL team.
No.
It's a Close Encounters big ass bunch of ships they have.
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of aliens coming out of it when we see it. Or at the very least dozens.
Yeah, you would think there would be like public service announcements like, if you see this worm, step on it, or don't reach for a toothpick.
In New Jersey, they're like, if you see a lanternfly, step on it immediately and kill it. And it's like, there's not a secret government operation that goes around killing lanternflies to protect the trees. Like people can never know.
Actually, I do have a script that's all about that.
One of the biggest failings in the film, and that's a long list, is that we're never told whether the Ripley disease is a new item in their is a new weapon. Because if it turns out that they've had this before, the movie makes even less sense. Because
I do think they try and paper over it a little bit, because they have like Tom Sizemore being like, there's studies showing that like some people recover, and Morgan Freeman's like,
which means
fuck that,
which is actually bad for the film, because if this should be a new disease, that they don't exactly know how to deal with, because otherwise, not only they're incompetent, this movie ended before it began.
Yeah.
There's the dumbest alien. Basically, the problem with this movie is that this is a movie about an advanced alien culture that has massive spaceships, interstellar travel, weaponry, and they don't know how to do something that the Joker can do in an average issue of Batman.
That's true.
They do not know how to drop a worm into a reservoir or an ocean. It's just
It seems strange to me that when we see the gray aliens, they're big and they seem very strong, but they've got to like get into Jonesy's body when he's injured already, and try to lift a cap off of a reservoir.
Well, they're trying to get out of the quarantine as a hitchhiker. That's the idea, and I guess the idea is that they crashed. But I 100% did not even.
The thing about this film, the bullshit setup is that they crashed.
Yeah,
but it's really stupid aliens versus stupid people.
Yeah. No, it totally makes sense.
I like that mobile game, by the way.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
It sounds great. Yeah,
they should have been able to drop the worm before they crashed.
They could have done. They could do it next Tuesday. They could have done it last. And also, they show later that the the aliens can impregnate their eggs in animals. So any one of those Disney animals, and they were hundreds.
Yes, animals that seek out water.
none of the soldiers are told look for animals. It's an idiotic premise that just does not get contained at any moment. It does not make sense.
And this is one of the many movies we've watched for this podcast where there are aliens that are advanced enough that they have like spaceships. They do probably genetic testing. They have not discovered clothing. They do not seem to have any sort of words. They just kind of growl.
They've advanced beyond clothing.
He says in the scene that we were just that you were talking about, he says Morgan Freeman's character says he infers that they haven't met a planet yet that they haven't wanted to conquer, or something along those words. I wrote it down somewhere, but how does he know that? They can't even tell what they're doing on Earth. How does he know what they're doing on other planets? What, has he read their newspaper? He gets their Substack or something?
Yeah, he's in their Substack.
What the fuck? How do you believe that? As a viewer and as somebody who has written words for money, how do you fucking how do you not have somebody just go, dudes, this makes no sense, but you can fix this.
Yeah.
You can these are things that you could paper over, as you said, in a weekend. That's what professionals are supposed to do. And this whole movie is just free flying craziness. It's not what not to do in Hollywood, except that this is a real film that got made. So all bets are off.
I pulled out my copy of What Lie Did I Tell? And I'm like, oh, man, it's a shame that William Goldman wrote this before he did Dreamcatcher. It cuts off before. I would love to hear him talk about
the last page of the book. It says, and then I wrote Dreamcatcher, and then it's the last. That's the last.
And I can't wait for this next thing I'm writing.
The next thing I'm writing will be the best one.
We get a brief scene where Freeman shoots an underling in the hand,
just to show how serious this is.
He's not a good dude.
He's not a normal boss. He's a cool boss.
This is how we know that he's crazy.
Yeah,
because he's eyebrows. So bored with the movie that you can't tell otherwise. Also, I love that the guy's shooting like his equipment.
Yeah,
letting bullets off in his high tech
inside of his trailer. Yeah,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And it's one of these things where the story is probably more interesting if Morgan Freeman's his character is not crazy. If he's like, no, we're under attack, and the only way to stop it is to kill all these infected people. I
mean, he's not completely wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, you hate him as a villain because he's willing to sacrifice people for the greater good, but that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with aliens.
Yeah.
With an alien plague.
Jonesy is now acting weird, making weird faces. He gets on a snowmobile. Tom Jane is trying to walk to the cabin. So Timothy Oliphant is alone, getting drunk with the farting woman.
He's not alone. He's with farting
who
woman.
has
He's
died.
watching over her. Yeah.
He doesn't realize that she has died and not just asleep. And
his friend told him, "Don't leave her alone to go get beer from the snowmobile."
But he's drinking.
Yeah, he fucked it up.
Well, he had some in his pockets already.
She has expelled the shit weasel.
He leaves her alone when she passes out.
Yeah.
So he misses the initial farting sequence. Important.
That sounds like now. That sounds like something that should be in the Spaceballs sequel. Is like a fart-powered spaceship initiating initial farting sequence.
He does a little soliloquy. He talks about how Duddits gave them all psychic powers, and he's been having these dreams that suggest that Duddits is an alien sent there to prepare them for something.
The movie, considering there's so much bonkers stuff in this movie, it so takes it for granted that we assume that they are kids who got telepathic powers from their friend, the mentally challenged kid. The movie is just like, so then Duddits gave us these psychic powers. And I'm like, that seems like the kind of thing you'd spend some time on.
They show them later. We'll get to when they get the powers and realize they have the powers, and they take it as if they just found an extra nickel in their coat. It's like it's a nothing. They don't have time. It's a 2-hour. How long is this movie? This movie's like 7
15
hours.
minutes.
Yeah, and they don't have time to establish things.
Yeah,
they just don't. So
just too many ideas, too many good ideas.
Farts to animate.
Psychic powers, thumbs up for psychic powers. They just accept these things, and you still don't. Even with this exposition dump, you still don't know why they're upset with life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's an alcoholic. They've dealt with him a little bit before. He's drinking in the daytime.
But I think you're right. I think there is one of the many missing pieces is that they don't address that the reason these guys have struggled, like emotional problems, is because of these powers, or responsibility they've gotten from their friend Duddits.
Which is really weird if you're a Stephen King fan or an ex-Stephen King fan, because that's one of the things he was always good at.
Yeah.
You think about The Shining or Salem's Lot, you understood the trauma aspect because everybody had, especially all the writers, all had to have trauma because sometimes you're a writer. Because you might go walk out of your $1 million house and get hit by a car someday.
Yeah.
But they don't even attempt to lock in why they're friends, or even why do they stay in touch. There was a great scene though where one of them, when they get into the cabin and somebody says something like, well, we've been doing this for 28 years or something like, and it's just the dialogue is such a on the nose garbage slop. It's such this is an AI movie, for God's sakes. But do you ever walk? We've been coming to your house for 15 years now, and etc. It's unbelievable. But yeah, please go on.
That's on Gilbert Gottfried on his podcast. He talk about movies for someone to go like, Marty, I'm your brother, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Don't you remember?
Establish this.
They literally say, how do you not remember the memory warehouse?
Yeah.
That's right.
That we have to live in. And I'm like, I guess that was so clever, but it's just stupid. Your friends don't remember that you have and you're all psychic, so you should be fucking talking with your mouths closed anyway. I mean, that's actually something we haven't even dealt with. They don't really need to be psychic in this movie.
No, not at all. Except to find each other later. They're like, well, I gotta find
each other later, and it's just a simple.
I mean, two of them definitely.
Thomas Jane does use it to convince.
Fingers doesn't need Beeve.
Tom Sizemore.
Oh, that's true. Thomas Jane uses it to convince, and then they talk to each other over the gun phone. Later.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Yeah.
Well, we'll get there. Oliphant goes to pee. A shit weasel lunges at his penis. He fights it off with fire. Tom Jane thinks the snowmobile coming towards him is his friend to rescue him, but his psychic link allows him to realize that's not Jonesy.
I would like to stop you here for a moment because this is an amazing bit of filmmaking. So it's actually one of the few times that the psychic thing comes into play, and it's a cute bit of business to a degree. They move the camera from Thomas Jane to the oncoming snowmobile, and he basically goes, "That's not Jonesy," which is hilarious. And then they pan back, and we follow the snowmobile. Thomas Jane is gone. Okay, and he reveals himself he's under the snow on the other side of the road. And this to me is the greatest scene in the movie because there are no footprints and there is no impact where he jumped into the snow. It's like a fucking Wile E. Coyote. There is no physical evidence of him going over to where he ends up and hiding. You cannot just. They don't say that they're telekinetic. He is and these are professional filmmakers with decades of experience, and nobody said, "Hey, Hank, how the fuck did he get over there?" One of the PAs. How did he get over there?
Add that to the goofs. The goofs, yeah.
I'll
put
it on the goofs.
The goofs overflowing, I would imagine.
It is amazing. But I'm like, he literally just teleports under the snow.
Yeah.
And not even where he's standing.
Well, he probably does. Yeah, he jumps up in the air, clicks his heels, dives under the snow, and burrows.
He dives and spins around. And
even a Pismo Beach thing is still the ground still pops up where he traveled. Chuck Jones covered that.
But he does
his head stays in one place. His body spins around like a top, and he drives down like a drill.
But that does explain why later he shows up in a bullfighting ring, and he asks for the Coachella Carrot Festival. And he has to fight that bull. Yeah,
it's absolutely like I didn't catch that the first time, but it's obvious. But you're so gobsmacked by everything else. But,
so Damian Lewis.
We're almost done with the movie, right?
No, Damian Lewis has the task.
Did any of you actually at one point look up how much left? And the first time I looked up how much is left, I was only 45 minutes in, and I thought I was going to cut my throat with a fork. I could not fucking believe there was another hour and a half of this shit.
Well, I had to keep stopping it to take notes, so it was
Right.
So for
constant.
Dan, it was like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it was. It
feels like a
unpleasant.
3 hour.
Damian Lewis has the unenviable task of having to converse with himself between Jonesy and Mr. Gray, the alien who's taken over his body. And that's what, of course, Dudd's trying to say. Beware Mr. Gray, not Mr. Gay. And later on, in totally extraneous dialogue, someone says that. Someone realizes, like, oh,
yeah.
Because they're like, oh, the
Mr. Gray
audience, if they've made it this
Mr.
far,
Gay is Mr. Gray.
if the audience has made it this far, they're idiots.
Mr. Gray is also, where does that name come from?
It comes
Because he's a gray alien when we
Gray
first
alien.
Does
encounter
he
him.
call himself Mr. Gray?
No.
Do they start calling him?
I
No.
think they just come
It
up
just
with
feels
it.
like another Stephen King thing where suddenly
just-
a bad guy has a name and it
Right.
doesn't come from it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Morgan
the walking
Freeman's
dude.
character calls them grays, and he's, when he's like talking about literally ETs out of the ass and things like that.
Yeah.
So they
And-
call them grays because they're bait. But the funny thing is, they don't really look like grays.
They're not really grays, yeah.
The only the things you see have these giant bulbous heads. They're colored gray
Yeah.
when they come out of the red mist thing. I mean, it makes no fucking
And that's supposed to be their like nice presentation to not
Right.
scare people versus the real like
Which is-
more
but you never
lizardy.
see it. It looks terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Their whole concept falls apart.
Well, the first Greys that came to Earth arrived on Halloween, and they thought this was the stuff that we like to see around.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They
I
all
mean,
land in
grays
Roswell
are supposed to be
and
those little spindly ET,
Yeah.
Close Encounters aliens.
With the big eyes and yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the hand signals and the minimalist music.
Oh, they love that.
The Eric they come in with
Wait
the
a
Eric Satie thing,
Is it
They
possible?
came to the planet to find Philip Glass.
Yeah. Do
Remember?
we have Philip Glass's
over and
birth
over and
certificate?
over again.
I just want to note that Mr. Gray talks with a British accent, an English accent, and even though Damian Lewis is English, it sounds unconvincing somehow.
It
Yeah.
still sounds
It really
fake.
sounds Dick Van Dyke
He's
based.
bouncing between two fake accents the entire
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And he changes his facial expressions. He's got one mad Batman.
Yeah, he's
66
Joker-fied,
face.
Gray's
I read-
manic.
I read that
terrible.
that he was basing that on Malcolm McDowell. That was his.
That's
was his
what.
inspiration.
But that's who it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's exactly who it sounds like.
And
I mean,
the facial expressions made sense to me after I read that because it's
Yeah,
like
I
oh,
got
he's
a
doing
good
good
it right
choice.
now.
The performance now.
Yeah.
yeah. It's except the problem is it's not Malcolm McDowell of If. It's Malcolm McDowell of The Substitute, class of 1999, The Substitute.
Mr. Gray finds Timothy Oliphant. He tortures him until Jonesy, who's trapped inside his mind warehouse, gets him to stop.
This is all the mind warehouse stuff here is so I don't like it when it's this literal where it's like there's information I
Yeah.
need from your mind warehouse. So he's literally burying it under boxes of other
Yeah,
material.
later on he's going to burn it. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like
No.
even
No.
his
Well, it's
metaphor.
like-
I've tried to burn things in my mind and it just doesn't take.
No, yeah. It's never
You
the
know,
stuff
I
you
just
want.
think about
oxygen.
I just
That's
think
the
about
thing.
it more and more. Oh, that time that I stole a copy of Fantastic Four from my friend Marshall German.
you have the
I'll burn that. Well, shit. It's just kind of the embers are in the rest of my head forever. I'll never get rid of it.
the fuel and the heat, but not the oxygen to burn
It's so bizarre. I mean, I can see it working in the book, but I really would never have tried.
Yeah.
I would never. Not that I'll ever be in this position. I would have absolutely shit canned that entire. And the monster's running around. At times, they show the monster running around in his dream warehouse. And the memory warehouse is hilarious too because it's just this like Pirates of the Caribbean looking fake.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Name
Right.
of the Rose style.
You know,
Giant
it's like, why would your
spiral
why-
staircase?
Why would you have to hole in your mind stuff
That's
on
the
a
thing. It's like in the movie Identity where it's all taking place in one person's head anyway, but then they go back
What?
and show you how the killer killed each of the other characters when no one was looking. It's like, well, they're not real, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you could just say it happened. You just made it up.
It's like the idea that you have to spend movie time running through your memory and you're being chased in this like Raiders of the Lost Ark nonsense, and then a monster is in your brain. It's literally chasing you. Like it's so bad. I mean, you can see them grappling with how to kind of make this film more interesting,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
never.
this movie
they
about
do it.
aliens and psychic people, they're like, let's juice it up a
But
little.
yeah, we got to get inside this guy's head and show him
Doing some library
Doing
stuff.
Yeah, let's see his
library.
dark, twisted fantasy.
library shit. Yeah, in Doctor Sleep they redo this, but it's kind of less awful.
Yeah.
Somebody has a memory bank in their head.
I
and
think that
What happened-
they
what happened-
stylize it more, which I think makes it more acceptable.
It looks like it's a better organized memory, and it's got it doesn't have 1950s fixtures and Roy Orbison. It's really funny because you can. I didn't want to stop the film and look at it, but you can see that they paid people to go through every file and write down. I mean, somebody is very proud of the fact that when he opens up a file to put the music of Blue Bayou in, there's a punk section. I did catch that, and I was like, yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Yeah, he's listening.
Yeah, the same guy likes all these things.
The punk, it's probably
it
like
contains multitudes.
It's a new wave band, and it's the Village Voices punk record.
Yeah. Gray takes Oliphant with him on the snowmobile briefly because I think he thinks he can help.
His direction pointing powers.
This is the only time that his power is used, and it's a good thing that he runs into the guy who somehow has the map quest power. And he does it by swirling, and then like a toilet bowl appears.
It's a bad effect.
And he's
it's a bad effect, and also
it.
it's just so useless. I mean, it's like, why did he get one extra power?
Why is he the dowsing rod of the team?
It's possible they all have extra powers, but they just don't show up in the movie. Like one of them is like, you show me a food, I can tell you all the calories. I don't even need to look it up on the box.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But it might have been. I think you're lying.
Thomas Jane makes it back to the cabin. He sees blood and red fungus all over. He finds dead beef. He gets a vision of Mr. Gray possessing Jonesy, and he sees the shit weasel laying eggs in the bedroom. He blows her away with a shotgun. He squashes some babies, and he torches the eggs and the whole cabin.
And that's got to be an homage to Eraserhead, right?
Yeah.
Him stepping on those little baby, little baby weasels. Yeah,
there's like a scene of like the Dreamcatchers being torched, and I'm like, oh no, the Dreamcatcher!
No.
Yeah, you can tell that was supposed to really hit you in the feels, and the whole place actually goes up, and you feel nothing. You feel absolutely nothing.
The cabin they've been going to for 20 years.
Flashback: kids making Dreamcatchers. They ask Duddits to find a missing girl because he's mysteriously good at finding things. They'll put their hands on him, and he uses his powers to make them all psychic.
They form like a little Dreamcatcher with him in the center.
Yeah.
Human Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, that was clever. Yeah.
And they find the girl in a drainage pipe, and they rescue her. This really is kind of irrelevant.
What I love about this sequence is that they're like, oh, she's in this drain pipe, and one of the kids lowers in there, and then it cuts to just Duddits' face, and they're like, hey, she's here. And he's just smiling. Like, we don't even see them find the girl.
This movie does not want women in this. Women
That's actually a fair argument.
Yeah.
There are, I think, speaking roles for like 4 women, and none of them go on for more than like 2. The woman that Plastic Face is hitting on.
Yeah.
The girl in the drain pipe, mostly off camera.
You get Duddits' mom. At one point,
Duddits' mom, who seems in like a character with gravitas in that scene, but we've never seen her. It doesn't matter. And some random people who have the disease who say, "Help me, help me."
Yeah.
They couldn't even. There's not even one
farting lady. Did we say farting lady?
Oh wait, there is the farting lady. She has, I think, one line.
Yeah.
When she punches him in the nuts, there's the third.
She farts herself. Yeah.
I forgot. There's a thing about there's this Kevin Smith pass on the script that fucked everything up. But yeah, it's an incredibly male film. Yeah. I mean, the Army there are no. I believe there were women in the military in 2023.
I've heard rumors of
2003.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, because it's so much about male friendship. It's
male
so much
bonding
about,
and nut punching. And,
all that being said,
the need for toothpicks.
And the guys actually sound slightly misogynistic when they do in their banter.
More than slightly.
I was giving it the benefit.
You're being charitable.
Yeah.
All that being said, though, I mean, we still could cut this drainage pipe girl because all it tells us, like, we already knew that Duddits gave them all psychic powers. We don't need to show them going on like a little mini adventure when they're kids.
2 seconds when they're having dinner in the cabin, they go, "Remember when Duddits gave us those powers?" And they're like, "Yeah, that was crazy." Okay, move on.
And the thing is, when they get the powers, they just basically shrug and run off. Literally, they just shrug and run off.
Psychic powers.
One of them makes the toilet swirling thing, and everybody goes neat. And it's funny also because they lower the little guy. They lower Beaver, who's a little tiny
probably going to be least able to
Maybe
get out.
Well, he's got his magic
physically doesn't look like they could save her that way, and that he'd be stuck down there with her. It's a wonderful, wonderful, heartwarming scene of old Americana.
And I feel if there's any grouping of people who would love to have their minds able to be read by their friends, it's teenage boys.
Yeah. Fuckaroo, criminal. God.
Back in the present, we get another sequence that I would argue is unnecessary, where some helicopters bomb the shit out of the crashed ship.
Well, luckily it also looks bad.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it really does. It really does look like House of the Dead, early House of the Dead coin-op game.
And I found this scene really confusing because the aliens are sending the telepathic messages saying, "Help us! We need help. We're fine." And Morgan Freeman's like, "You hear that? They're sending lies into our brains. Blow them up, boys." But Morgan Freeman has already been established as an insane man. So I was like, is the movie making the point that actually they're misunderstanding what's going on with the aliens? But no, it turns out not. But this whole scene could be, if it wasn't the most expensive scene, probably.
Yeah, it's a budget buster scene to put some big action into it.
Yeah,
and it's off. Also, this is where you get to see the scope of the enemy, and a ship that is the size of, a cruise ship, giant cruise ship.
Yeah.
These are not just these guys were not like parachuting out of a ship into, and it crashed, and somehow nobody has found it on radar.
Yeah,
nobody has seen this happen outside Maine.
I would imagine a meteor of this size would be a planet-ending event.
Yeah, it would be a big deal, and the aliens with all their technology.
The world's best deep core drillers up there and break that thing apart, right?
Yeah,
the aliens come out of the ship, and their play is to just jump up and down like they're at a rave and say, "Hi, we're nice people." How does that even work? Because you don't ever see them as anything that a human being, a human being would go, "Hey," they could project themselves as cuddly teddy bears or Pokemon I can't remember, Tinky Wink and all those.
Like which Pokemon's like Mewtwo or
probably
if they were a bunch of
Snorlax,
not something that powerful.
If they turned themselves into a group of Pikachus,
okay, yeah,
a lot of people would run over to them and hug them.
Yeah,
but instead they just look like garbage. They just these gray.
No, it's true.
They don't even look like anything.
Choose an alien.
The weird thing is that there's a moment that when they start getting fired on, they spin around and they kind of revert to their like snake form, but it doesn't look that much visually distinct from their nice form.
No.
If that makes sense.
And they're sort of like these space doughboys. These poppin' fresh doughboys jumping up and down. I mean, it's really an embarrassing scene on all, and the effects are terrible. And it's they send their crack 4 helicopters because this is so important. We see that
because 2 have to get blown up so that our hero
that you have to lose the idiots, right? You have to lose a couple of Porkins.
I mean, and it's also like a really big ship for these 3 or 4 helicopters to do anything about.
It's massive. It's an ID4 kind of ship, and it blows up very easily. It has no defenses, apparently.
They self-destruct to try and, I don't know, kill these 4 tiny helicopters.
I think that's their only plan is to, I guess, to kill the helicopters is to destroy all of themselves.
Right. They've never invented a gun.
Maybe not.
Because they've been really good at just throwing their weasel babies.
All they have is
if you have
they
weasel
land
babies,
and all they have is special pleading. That's all they have. They just have this, they get these watery eyes, and they look up at you, and you go, and they're still an ugly alien. They go, "Please help us."
But then you get close, and then you get weasel babied. That's actually, I'd like to see a Western where instead of 6 guns, they're throwing weasel babies at you.
Throwing weasel babies at each other.
I also love the idea that they've done so little research in the 25 years that they've been trying to invade the Earth that they don't realize that humans are shit and don't want to help anyone.
That's
their whole idea. Help us. Fuck you.
We will simply go. We'll play upon the sympathy they hold for all living creatures.
Sounds good, Cree Blacks. Yes, tell me more. We won't wear clothes. We'll just be these naked little mud hippies, space mud hippies, and then we'll turn into these.
All their research was they read the comic strip Love Is, and that was all the research they did.
Yeah. That and a little Ziggy. These are dumb fucking aliens, man. They really, really are.
Timothy Oliphant won't tell Mr. Gray about Duddits, so Gray eats him. Where we've narrowed our focus, we're down to only 2 characters.
The classic
that we have to
bite
follow.
my bag scene, right?
It's an amazing scene too. It is so it just does not care about its own characters.
Yeah.
Also, one of those times where it's like, that seems like a useful power to just be able to eat a whole person. I don't know why he doesn't do that again.
Turns around, and that's it. Your character is gone, which I was glad. I'm very happy when the characters leave this movie.
Uh-huh.
I was so excited that Beaver was the first one to go because it's horrible.
Yeah,
he had the most. He had the most quips. And
when a guy was talking to himself in a British accent,
that's
not like adding another character though.
He's not the one.
He's worth 2.
You're rooting for him to stay around longer. You hate the characters.
Beaver has big kid in the wheelchair from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where you're like, I don't want the heroes to die, but this kid, we can probably get rid of her pretty soon, right? Yeah.
It's such an unglamorous death. It's an undramatic death.
Yeah.
Greg grabs a truck. He's trying to spread the infection beyond the quarantine. He notices that Jonesy's up to something in his memory warehouse. This is where the burning of Duddit's memories happens. Thomas Jane.
So he should not remember Duddits when he sees him.
You're
later,
right.
Right? He's burned those. So when Duddit shows up, he should be like, "Who is this? What are you doing?" But
you're asking
tell the ghost to William Goldman.
It's fucking Donnie Wahlberg. That's who it is. He just looks crazy.
I got to meet William Goldman once, very briefly.
Yeah.
But I had not seen this movie yet, so I didn't get to ask him about it.
You would have barked his shins with, right?
No. Princess Bride buys him a few Dreamcatchers.
I'm one of the few people on Earth who still hasn't seen that, so I don't have the.
It's a sweet
I know
movie.
I also grew up reading the book. I actually read the book before the movie.
I've seen Dreamcatcher twice. I have not seen Billy the Kid. I have not seen
Butch Cassidy. You mean
Butch Cassidy? Sorry, I think I have seen Billy the Kid, but he was fighting Dracula at the time. But I have not seen the William Goldman hits. I don't believe.
Have you seen Magic, the ventriloquism movie?
No, I have not. I have not seen Magic. I don't.
Did he write that?
He wrote the book and the movie. I think he wrote the movie. He wrote the book it's based on. That's one where I found out after seeing it that they wanted Gene Wilder to play that role, and I'm like, oh, what a better movie that would have been.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah,
and he adapted. He did Misery, so he did the good Stephen King.
I haven't seen Misery. I've seen garbage films. I've only seen garbage. I saw Dreamcatcher.
Misery, every author's fantasy. A fan likes your book so much.
I did read that book. I did read the book though, and I remember liking it. But
Thomas Jane's trying to get out of quarantine by cross-country ski, and he is stopped by army dudes. He gets pulled into the quarantine zone. He reads Morgan Freeman's mind as like Freeman is monologuing at Tom Sizemore. He's like being like, "Fuck your studies that show that we don't have to kill all these people." The fight against aliens has driven him mad. He says he'll kill Americans if he has to.
Thomas Jane does not take the opportunity to use his psychic powers to stop Morgan Freeman from killing all these people. He decides to go after Tom Sizemore.
They don't really seem to use them at all.
Well, I don't know whether they can do like brain fighting or whether they can just read.
Yeah. Oh, wait, they can do psychic battles?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what Dan just said, is he knows for a fact they can do psychic battles.
Guys, it's like
it feels like he underutilizes his psychic battle.
Guys, is our psychic link
Dan said he said, and I quote, I ... know if they can use psychic battles.
Because he probably has a fetter that allows him to summon a psychic saber. And that psychic saber is going to pierce through Tom Sizemore's psychic shield abilities.
Oh, yes.
He only has a level 3 psychic shield.
We're getting into psionics. I never used psionics in our D&D game.
Oh, man, you're missing out. What adventures could be had?
Mind flayer bullshit. We were scared.
If only Thomas Jane had focused the totality of his psychic abilities into, say, like a Psyblade that came out of his fist, like Cyblade.
It would have been cooler if the 4 guys were fire starters. At least there would have been something like,
freaky fire starters.
Some fighting. Yeah, exactly.
No, but he doesn't do any of that.
I was about to sing the song, but boy, I can't sing it.
Instead of targeting Freeman, Thomas Jane accosts Tom Sizemore, uses his psychic info to encourage him to do the right thing.
It's a classic, like, I'm telling you things about yourself I would only know if I could read your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And Tom Sizemore takes this in stride just like everybody.
He takes this in stride like
this is a post-psychic America. This is everyone in America is just waiting for psychics to show up.
It would have made sense if, like, instead, because he's always like looking at a picture of somebody And I think he should have been looking at his like big book of psychic phenomena that he's like, oh,
the Time Life
my
book.
guiding moonlight, you've been with me always.
I mean, I guess he's seen so much weird shit at this point. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. But he does have like the same like
He's
look
like, I just
of
blew up
like
a bunch of aliens today. Sure, you're psychic. Whatever, man.
Sizemore is a rock in this film, and I don't mean that in a good sense. I mean, he just actually everybody in this movie feels stunned that they had to come back to work the next. Nobody looks happy to be in this film or like they're having a good time.
Morgan Freeman looks pissed. That
He really does.
Movie.
He really looks. He honestly looks unhappy.
Yeah,
I do like that they cast against type there. They made Freeman like the crazy guy, and Tom Sizemore is the guy that you think is going to be evil because he's Tom Sizemore, but he's very reasonable.
It's true because it was an interesting decision. It really increased the boredom. It really turned it up, you know. And it was just like when John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd in Neighbors, you know. You didn't get anything you wanted, but it was an interesting decision.
The biggest problem I have with this, honestly, is that like Tom Sizemore isn't just like, oh, you've got psychic powers, you're an alien, I'm going to shoot you, rather than like just going along with it.
I'm going to haul you into the trunk of alien knowledge. That I have no idea what I'm saying there, by the way.
He convinces him to get Morgan Freeman's superior, General Matheson, to assume command. He busts Thomas Jane out. They drive into the storm, and he answers a phone call from Jonesy by putting Tom Sizemore's handgun up to his head, and Tom Sizemore still believes Thomas Jane.
Dan,
after that,
this is good writing. At the beginning of the movie, he put a gun to his head as an act of self-destruction. Now he is putting a gun to his head as an act of global preservation. That's why they pay William Goldman a lot of money to do that kind of stuff.
I think he also literally says, "I wish that I could call Jonesy." I believe it is prompted by it, but so that kind of derails the good writing. It kind of, you know, antimatter matter. It's just, I wish I could call him. Your gun is ringing.
And I forget, did Jonesy did Mr. Gray go to the bathroom in the memory palace? And that's how Jonesy could get a call out.
Yeah,
you know?
that's probably what happened.
I gotta do something. Don't call anybody.
Maybe the closer they get to Dud, it's like the phone lines get better essentially.
Okay.
But Tom Sizemore, I can't believe he looks at him, Jonesy, like he's crazy, but also like, I'll allow it. You know, it's
he actually says, "Give me the gun back," which is silly because he already took the bullets out of it, so it kind of derails the joke. But this is the first use of Chekhov's phone. So that's incredible. Put that on the trivia.
And an exciting feature of this gun is, in addition to functioning as a phone, it also has like an Apple AirTag in it.
Yeah, there's a tracking device that Freeman is. That's
how Morgan Freeman is able to complete his job of saving the world by hunting Tom Sizemore.
They go to anyway. These guys go to Derry.
Nuts. He's nuts. He's really nuts.
No, really, like he shows up at the end. He's like seems to have totally forgotten his mission.
Everything.
He's been relieved of his mission too, so he's mad that he was. It's I could see
this
it
time
as a
it's
personal.
This
time it's personal. Exactly.
They left him in his high-tech Nick Fury
It's
wagon.
very funny. So they're like, you got to call in this other army guy, and the army guy comes in. We're taking over this operation now,
and he's very reasonable.
They're so.
He's the nicest army man you could want.
He's so nice. He's like, so General Insane Morgan Freeman. Anything you want to tell us? Nope, I'm fine. Just give me another couple minutes inside my room with all my machines that do all my things for me.
My spying devices.
Science guys say that there's some machine work going on in here. He's like, nope, I don't think so.
That's just my Domino's pizza tracker working overtime.
Now here's the thing:
killing aliens works up an appetite.
This is from 2003, where we didn't believe these things of the army. But if it was made now, right?
They kind of like
you believe that our American military is capable of any stupid fucking thing.
If it was made now, I'd be like, there's too many nice people in this movie who are in the army.
Well, exactly. Everybody should be a Tom Sizemore on 11.
I do believe this movie more if it is Trump and Hegseth calling the shots.
Yeah.
And they're like, blow up the town in Maine, whatever, I don't know. Go after those guys, I don't know. Like it, I do believe that, yeah.
So they go to Derry to pick up Adult Duddits, who's played by Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh my God, what a coup. What a casting coup.
Well, that's the thing. They're like, hey, Donnie, just to let you know, the water supply for the city of Boston is in danger. And he's like, I'm in. Son of a bitch, you got me.
That's it. I'm going to play some Dropkick Murphys.
That water powers my Wahlburgers restaurants.
That's right. But you also you're dressed like Walter Matthau in that movie about survivalists, and you have Down syndrome, You're also possibly not human.
Yeah.
And this script is terrible.
He's like, yeah, but I get to dangle a stuffed animal from my hand and carry a
That's true.
lunchbox.
You get to say
broken
the most
English. Say
you get to say the most important line in the movie, and you got to wear these Depends. We got to do a lot of character work here.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie Wahlberg.
That's true. When he was on set, he was just Duddits. He would only answer to Duddits.
Yeah, if you called him Donnie, he would get mad.
And we get to meet Duddits' mother, who you think would be an interesting character, though. But we don't meet anybody's parents really, and we don't know anything about those kids.
Those kids, I assume, all except for Duddits, they all live in a house together. They have no parents.
They live in a treehouse.
They live in a house.
Sorry,
they all have they all sleep in race car bunk beds.
Yeah,
Duddits' mom is like, damn, you can take this kid off my hands.
Well, she's like, Duddits.
She's like, go save the world. And she seems to know that she's not going to see him again, too.
Well, she goes, Duddits was so happy when you were showing up that now he'll die happy. So please take him off my hands.
And he's got leukemia.
He's got leukemia. Yeah, he carries his meds in the Scooby-Doo lunchbox now. It's been repurposed.
What does leukemia add to this?
When the later reveal happens, it feels strange.
Unlike the rest of the movie.
That's an understatement. Yeah.
So Duddits locates Mr. Gray
it's so
psychically.
Weird. This character is just thrust on you with all the importance of the mouse droid in the first Star Wars movie. I mean, it's just Are we supposed to care about this?
Yeah.
His mother basically does a via con dia. She's like, thank God, I'm getting drunk. I'm going to bingo.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like, why have they not been in touch with him?
Yeah, that was something I thought was. They talk about him all the
They
time.
talk about him as if he's dead already.
And they kept saying, we're going up to the cabin to see Duddits. And it's like, well, Duddits isn't at the cabin. So I don't understand what.
He's like the most important thing in their lives. He's all they're talking about. He gave them these great, not so great psychic powers. One of them can find car keys, and they don't even.
I mean, in many ways,
don't even call him up.
In many ways, it's a story about children and their parents. You know, they give us everything, and yet we forget about them.
I thought you were going to say, in many ways, finding your keys is the most useful psychic power.
I mean, it is a really useful psychic power. Yeah.
I think he never finds anything else, though.
No.
He finds
a date. He does find a worm on his dingus. Yeah.
This was all started by a guy who had to have a toothpick.
That fucking beef.
It was so, but you got to admit that whole scene, right? The way they kept cutting toothpick him, Hitchcockian. Wow.
You
that
really
was so Hitchcockian.
I mean, it's also strange that earlier it's like we can't let this thing out of the toilet. The alien's whole plan is to get into the reservoir, right? So you know what's connected to water pipes.
Elliot, we're trying to enjoy Dreamcatcher. Please let me have my fun. We're trying to enjoy Dreamcatcher here.
I don't think they're remote
oceans. There's these fucking things called oceans and rivers and
You think the groundwater supply eventually?
What is it? 75% of the earth is water, and
that's the whole fucking M. Night Shyamalan science argument.
Any one of us can go out and end the world with their worm tomorrow. We just go out. I've got a reservoir a mile from here. I walk over.
I've been trying to end the world with my worm for years.
Stuart does have a good point, though.
That if fly over Lake Erie.
Yeah.
If the toilet emptied directly into the reservoir, you would have other problems.
No, but it's still you could get through there. That's true.
Unfucking believable.
It's true. You don't want your toilets to go into the reservoir. That's a good point. Yeah.
Anyway,
and they were probably making fun of the Martians from War of the Worlds for not testing the air first.
Yeah. It was like when the Dave Matthews Band emptied their tour bus toilets in the Chicago river.
They did more damage to the Earth than these fucking aliens from another planet did.
Yeah, I mean, they should have. Who knows? Maybe there's Mr. Gray hiding in Dave Matthews Band.
That would explain a lot.
Well, we've talked about it a lot already.
What would you say to that, Dan?
We've talked about it a lot already. Duddits has psychically located Gray. He is going to the reservoir where just a single worm in the water supply would kill the world.
They're in a dog also at this point.
The worms are in a dog.
Yeah,
they're driving in a car, and the car gets a flat tire, so they got to get out of the car, right? And I was reading, I think in the book, the heroes do something that stymies him, but here it's just the
everybody
powers
crashes
of the earth,
their car whenever they need to.
I read the Wikipedia. Yes, this is another bizarre thing from the books, indicating that maybe William Goldman did make some good choices along the way, which was Duddits implants a hunger for raw bacon in Mr. Gray's brain, and Jonesy's human body gets so sick by this that it slows down the progression to the reservoir.
For the listeners who can't see what we're seeing right now, it looks like Evan is experiencing actual pain on hearing this.
You've got to be kidding me.
This is what the wiki said.
You gotta be
been wrong
well,
before,
they're wrong sometimes. I'm hoping they're wrong.
Yeah.
He gets a lust for bacon and it slows him down.
I mean, I imagine whatever pain meds Stephen King was on were bonkers.
That's Warner Brothers plotting. I gotta have some bacon. It's like a Dick Tracy villain. Like Bacon Boy. I love bacon.
Yeah, he floats on the wafting on the scent of raw bacon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
they put the bacon under a box, and when he gets to it, they pull the string, and the box falls
the
on him.
stick is holding the box.
See someone else. Turn into a package of raw bacon.
I mean, based on the references, I feel like old timey cartoons fit the
might
themes.
Have been an inspiration here while he was tripping on OxyContin.
At the reservoir, Gray carries this infected dog full of worms.
Which is adorable.
I do like that this sequence, they really take the time to have him walk up to the door, find that it's locked, put the dog down, find a rock, blast through the window with the rock.
Also,
you don't need to take all this time.
So he has to go to this fucking I guess
was
a dam building or something.
Baconator dreams were like going through his head and shit. He was all messed. He was really messed up for. I didn't quite get why.
I think there must have been something that they cut out.
Jonesy seemed to be addled constantly, like physically.
Maybe it's the bacon. Maybe they cut the bacon.
They got the gout real fast.
But I think it's like he spent so much time getting into this building, like trying to pry up a manhole. I'm like, why aren't you taking it to the water line? Like, why does it have to go down?
You can see water when he gets to the reservoir. There's water in the background.
But that's the place because it says alien worms here. Right on that.
It's really uptight. It's like rollerball. He doesnsizemore get the point unless he jams it in the hole. Don't ask me why that means. But
our heroes have arrived. Sizemore tells Thomas Jane and does to stay in the car. He tries to sneak up on Mr. Gray with his automatic rifle.
He says goodbye. He says goodbye. It's like he knows he read the script.
He seems to know that
it's
this
a really
may be his
strange
last
moment because it doesn't seem like
rodeo.
All he do is shoot this guy.
Yeah. Well, he can't because he's thwarted by Morgan Freeman in a helicopter who strafes him.
This scene, I thought this was so funny. Morgan Freeman and Tom Sizemore essentially kill each other, and I'm like, well, don't know what the point of them being in this part of the movie was.
Exactly. There's no point. It turns out there's really no point in them being in the movie at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their movie's on a separate track practically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's never been a movie about people in a cabin in the woods dealing with some kind of killer that hasn't been hurt by the fact that it doesn't have a major military presence taking place in a side story.
And a war between two men who were formerly comrades. And
he loved him like a son.
Insert projectiles into one another. There's a lot of dick stuff going on in this film. There really is.
The original title of the movie was Dickcatcher, yeah.
He shoots the helicopter, it blows up, blah, blah, blah.
He uses the gun.
Yeah,
he uses the gun finally.
It's a pretty interesting rap for Morgan Freeman. We don't even see a reaction when he's dying. He's like, no. Just get me out of here.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane comes in. He shoots a shit weasel that jumps right onto the barrel of his gun. Mr. Gray tries to.
They're not known for having a particularly good self-preservation.
I just thought it was notable. Mr. Gray tries to fake him out, pretending to be
This
Jonesy.
is one of those movies where the aliens are killing machines until the time when the heroes have to kill them, in which case they are fools and morons and they can't accomplish anything.
Yeah. Gray pretends to just be Jonesy. Jane reasonably doesn't trust him and asks for proof with something that Gray couldn't possibly know, which is dumb because he's in his brain. I don't understand this at all.
He's in the warehouse. For God's sakes, didn't you see the movie?
Yeah. But it gets interrupted by Duddits anyway, who's managed the strength to stumble in.
Yeah. Because his leukemia was killing him, apparently, that entire time. He was fighting the leukemia to get into the
I'm excited because
end of the movie.
Gray, he's going to save the day. Gray leaves Jonesy to reveal his true alien form. He grabs Duddits.
Now, when he leaves Jonesy to reveal his true alien form, what organic mass?
It's very confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like he's riding him as a phantom.
Like red dust that came out of his pores.
It doesn't make any sense. You feel like he would have been ripping out of him, or the whole way that they do the possession makes no sense in this film.
Yeah.
But also, I think you're saying, Elliot, he seems to be creating actual matter.
He seems to be creating a body out of nothing, and it doesn't,
kind of like a writer.
Wow.
Yeah, look, he made, so you're saying this is kind of like a look, I made a hat type act of creation artistically,
Lethality.
The big alien stabs Duddits with his spiky tail, but that's what Duddits wanted, I guess, because he turns into his own alien form
more
and stabs
thinking.
Gray with his tail.
There's so much penetration in this film.
Now, is this I thought this was
revealing it to death. What?
I thought this was revealing that Duddits was an alien, but in the Wikipedia summary, it describes this as being a consequence of the infection of Duddits by Mr. Gray. So what's going on here, guys? What do you think is happening here? Is this Duddit's true
I assumed
form,
he was
or
an
is it
alien
monster?
Yeah, I mean, there's all that stuff where like Oliphant's like, I think that he's an alien who came.
They talk early. Yeah, throughout the movie, you're led to believe he's an alien because in the exposition dumps, Pete or whatever his name is, he's like, I think he's an alien from another planet, and I gave us powers to do something for the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
so he's some kind of like traitor to his own people.
I think he's a different type of alien.
Oh boy,
he's red as opposed to gray.
Right.
We all know from War of the Gargantuas and from
we all do
that you have to have different colors for the way that you feel about the world, and from whatchamacallit, not Rock'em Sock'em Robots. There has to be.
And when he transforms, he looks more like a stone cat. He looks like a sleepwalker kind of.
Oh, don't invoke that.
Well, anyway, he infects the bad alien. They both explode into red dust.
Cool.
Much like in the movie Red Dust, where Clark Gable explodes.
I was going to say, not to be, very, very, yes. Good one, man. Good.
One more thing. A worm crawls toward the manhole. Is he going to get there? No. Jonesy squashes it at the last moment, proving that Gray is gone. It's really him. The end. The tale of Dreamcatcher. Copyright whenever.
It is such an abrupt ending, too.
It's
terrible.
Really
Squish.
funny.
Hey, it's me, Jonesy. Credits.
It's
well, they
also
have
the dog.
the credits.
We've been shown to see that the aliens lay many eggs, and the dog apparently had a big belly. The dog is whining throughout. The fucking dog, right?
Yeah.
The dog is alive throughout the infestation. It just keeps complaining. Oh,
good actor though.
Yeah, it was probably the best actor in the film. He had real motivation. He wants these eggs the fuck out. But the dog never farts. And
That's
the dog
true.
never,
and dogs, in my experience, are farters. Yeah,
they're much more open about it. They're
not holding them.
They would definitely let him rip. The dog sits throughout that part because he gets the dog when he gets the truck, and he puts the eggs inside the dog, and only one egg comes out. The dog never goes through. I mean, there's just such a lack of attention paid to this thing that, for the money spent, is just incredible.
You heard it here, folks. Not enough farts, raves Evan Dorkin.
Well, that's not, I mean, but if you're
more
going
from dogs.
If you're going to have Chekhov's fart,
yeah.
I kind of wish the ending was they squished that last one and they're like, we did it. And then you see that dog has dragged itself to the water and just kind of falls
throws
in.
up. It throws up. Well, there's another ship above. It's like the end of oh God. What's the movie with the slugs? Tom Atkins.
The Creeps or no?
Yeah, Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
And there's more happening, but the ending really is just such a fizzle of bad.
Unlike the other Stephen King adaptation starring Tom Jane, The Mist.
I did not see that.
It's got a fun ending, right?
The problem is I know the ending. So.
Okay.
And I did read that book. I reread it. It's not as good as I remembered it, but it is what it is. But I mean, this movie feels like everything King. It's every King.
Yeah.
It's everything.
It's like a Stephen King fever dream kind of.
And
it feels like a Stephen King
you were saying
sampler.
real quick about the end credits. We get to share.
We see like them laughing and joking with each other as if the audience has forgotten what movie they just watched.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like that. Oh, our heroes in better times.
We love them. Didn't you love them? Let's bring it back.
Exactly. This
Let's
used
bring
to
it
be
back.
the playground. This magic moment.
It's a really cowardly way out. It really that's a beach sex romp ending. Credits ending. When you see everybody hopping up and down and throwing hot dogs around and whoops, my top came off and I don't know if we buds. Didn't we love that scene where we basically had a hilarious rape like in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
And this movie actually goes back and says, remember all the terrible scenes that we had in this film.
Remember how annoying all the fake conversation was?
The only thing that would have made that ending work is if the four of them were sitting around that table and then there was a fifth chair and it was one of those shit weasels just hanging out laughing with them. And they're like, oh, buddy, you got me this time. The next time I'll get you.
Or a glowing Jedi Duddits. And he's just, he's doing his waving. He's playing with his Scooby. I cannot believe at the end of this this
crazy.
That he goes, ooby, fuck, I can't even say it. Ooby doo.
Yeah. And he says, we got some work to do now.
We got some work to do. And I would have loved to have seen this in a theater with an audience just for that scene. Because I would feel like that it would have been like Times Square in 1986. Bullets would have flown. I mean, laser lights would have been hitting the screen. I mean, fights in the aisles.
It's like Rite of Spring.
I feel like they wasted all their money on the special effects because they could have gotten the musical sting of the actual Scooby-Doo song to play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't have it when he shows up.
That would have been great.
So
what do we do
had
now,
more money,
Dan?
maybe they would have had the right casting in this movie because I think if it was the Golden Girls instead of these four guys, it would have been a different movie.
Yes.
Better movie in some ways.
What do we do now? What we do now is we do our final judgments, whether this is a good, bad movie, a movie that you enjoy because you get, maybe a few laughs out of it because it's a bad movie, a movie that you do not care for at all, or a movie that you kind of like. Sometimes we actually like these movies. I'm going to go bad, but I'm going to say that if you are
Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug? Do you need a Duddits hug? Do you need a Dreamcatcher group hug?
Dan has often told me that he needs a Duddits in his life. Yeah.
We all need a Duddits.
The problem is it's so long and kind of dry for a movie that's so weird that I can't quite recommend it as a good, bad movie. But if you're the kind of person who's interested in like when things go wrong, you might like to see this because it's sort of fascinating how they're working so hard to make sort of fundamentally impossible material work. And how there's so much like talent on and behind the screen that was thrown into this thing that doesn't work at all. But in terms of my actual enjoyment, I'm going to say bad. What do you say, Stuart?
Yeah, I feel like for me, I think it tips into a good, bad movie. It's like such a mistake, and there's so many wrong choices. It is tough to get through, but that's a challenge for you bad movie sickos out there. So I think it's a good, bad movie.
I'm going to call it a bad movie, but I think if it was like 30 to 40 minutes shorter, I would call it a good, bad movie because you really at certain points, so many times during it, I'm like, what is this movie about? Like they felt like they needed to shovel more stuff into this movie, and it careens around. It does feel like someone took a bunch of Stephen King books and just kind of like threw them in a blender and chopped them up and then poured out like a Stephen King smoothie with all the things he does. But it's just so long. It just takes so long to get through. I'm going to call it a bad movie. And Evan, you were saying before the recording, this is a movie you kind of like, that you enjoy it quite a bit.
No, I almost hung myself for the second time in my life because of this film. We were watching this thing. I was so sad that I was so angry at myself for sponsoring this film. I should have picked something else. I really did not. I watched it. I had like a week to watch it, and I waited till the last moment because I don't think it's a. I think it's a bad movie, but I would suggest the category of fascinating bad movie.
Yeah,
because especially if you like films, and if you're a writer or creative, it's a fascinating disaster of how bad. I mean, it's fascinating because it is a distillation of everything King wrote. That even he admits that it's a best of almost. But it really is. It's dream logic, Stephen King. And the movie is. There's so much talent involved, so it's fascinating to watch. Terrible films made by people who have made good films, and it's so stupid. It breaks so many laws of filmmaking, screenwriting, acting, logic. It should never have been made as is. So I think it's worth seeing because it's an object lesson, in everything going wrong in a Hollywood production.
I always wonder with movies like this, at what point did the people making it know that they were in trouble and this was not?
How did they? But do you wonder when you see so many films like of this sort, or even successful films that you just don't like. I mean, you just wonder why weren't the brakes applied when you're going to spend $70 million or whatever it costs? When are the brakes applied that somebody just goes, wait a second, we have a lot of problems in this. Now, supposedly, I didn't do too much looking into it. Supposedly, Goldman did a pass, and he threw out a ton of material.
Oh, really?
He seemed, if I remember correctly, he was more interested in the main story of 4 guys up in that cabin and things happened, blah, blah, blah. And Kasdan came in and put back a lot of it. Now, I don't know who made the decision to silly putty Stephen King's dialogue, because even people who love King, I mean, it's not like it's a secret that Stephen King's dialogue does not play well in film about where you're trying to portray life as somewhat realistic.
Like actuality. Yeah.
It doesn't even have a verisimilitude. I mean, he makes up social interactions and behavior and bonding between these characters and dialogue that does not exist anywhere on this planet. Everything is forced and dated. It's dated to a television version of the 50s. Like maybe Stephen King is one of these grays. Maybe he's a Duddits. You know, and the thing that's amazing the other thing is, if Duddits is an alien, where the fuck did he come from? Because he grew up in this town. He has a mother.
Yeah.
She's probably an alien too.
Immaculate.
Yeah, my stepmother's an alien. I've seen.
But I mean, the character I believe he's not an alien in the book, if I have that right. But I mean, what if he's not an alien in the book? Then this breaks the law of the 2 miracles in writing, and that you've got aliens, which is one miracle, and then you deal with that. But then you've got aliens, but you've also got psychic humans. And in film, that's just a little too much to ask for. It might work in a book. It
would have been so easy to just cut all the military stuff out.
It really would have.
Right? Yeah.
It really would. You could have just had local police. You could have this could have been the first time this ever happened, the same way like in The Thing, which this also makes you think of. It just does not feel original in any sense.
Yeah. And the fact that it feels like he's cribbing from himself is the weirdest thing
definitely.
about it.
I mean, definitely. It's The Stand, it's The Shining, it's Carrie, it's King, which he does a lot in his later books.
It's possible that he read his own books, forgot he had written them, and wrote a book. He's like, I'm going to write like this author that I like a lot, but I'm going to exaggerate it. I'm going to make the dialogue even crazier.
This is what happens when you write on painkillers after a traumatic thing.
And luckily he got through it.
Yeah,
I'm glad he got through it, but
he had to get this one out of his system, I guess. Probably didn't need to turn into a major motion picture, though.
Maybe didn't need to publish it. The thing is that's the other thing with Stephen King is, and I know that the way he writes, because I read his writing book. He's like, every day I write 10 pages. I don't do much rewriting, and his best books there's this like momentum to it. Everything keeps moving. But in his worst books, you can really tell like, he didn't really go back and fix
these things. It's funny you mentioned momentum, because one of the things I kept thinking through this is that it really felt like there was no urgency. The only time there's any urgency is when there's a bunch of helicopters flying around. Dun, 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 the F music is going. But otherwise, I mean, that end scene is a masterclass in how not to get an audience interested. I mean, cars just pull up, people walk out of them. They go to this very boring looking reservoir building. They didn't, you know what I mean? And then it's a set. There's so many sets, which is the cabin is clearly a set. The reservoir is a set.
Yeah.
It looks phony, especially for a movie where money was spent. But I mean, they get out of the car, and then they have made it clear: one worm gets in the reservoir, the Earth is done.
Humanity's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the thing. If the thing gets out, we're done. But at least you understand the way the thing works. You've seen the thing in action.
It's gross.
You get it, and it will immediately. It will not fuck around and fart around. It will end the Earth. This is the way that the thing works. The worms, they lie to you? Okay, they lied to me. Ooh, they're gonna lie. So they tell you, we have this is the goal. The alien is going to try to dump a worm into the reservoir. It's going to put a Joker fish in the Gotham reservoir. We're all doomed. We've got to stop this thing. So Tom Sizemore has already displaced the obstacle in the Army. Morgan Freeman has been sidelined. And they know they're fighting aliens. At no time does he go to Mr. Nice General and say, we need to do an all points bulletin, get everybody in those helicopters to the reservoir.
That's something we skipped over. It's true, which baffled me at the time is he brings in the other general to be like, Morgan Freeman has lost it. You've got to take over. And then he smashes a truck into the place where Thomas Jane is being held captive and goes, we got to get out of here, and runs out. And it's like,
he doesn't have to do that.
You're the guy who's in control right now.
He's in charge. He has the ear of the general, and he's also, the general has not had this experience with the 25 years fighting the shit whistles. And he was going to give Tom Sizemore was supposed to inherit Morgan Freeman's role.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in charge anyway.
So not only does he act as if he's a felon, he's like, the fugitive. He busts him out and then says, me and you, no one else. They don't get helicopters. They don't get more men. They could have ended this.
So I stepped out for a second and I missed it. Was Evan's review, was your review kind of liked? A movie you kind of liked?
I loved it. Better than E.T., better than Star Wars, better than Bloodthirsty
Finally,
Butcher.
aliens get a good representation.
But again, and at the very end, we know that the Earth is at risk, but they keep stopping the action for these moments. I mean, Tom Sizemore watches the helicopter do circles to come back to shoot him again, but because they're in their fucking, they don't kiss.
This is all that matters now is
he doesn't going mono. All he has to do, he could just run. He could have run into the reservoir and saved the Earth. Doesn't do it.
Luckily,
multiple times this helicopter. Okay, hold on. And
luckily, Mr. Gray has picked a body that is very bad at lifting manhole covers.
And Thomas Jane has to spend all this time making sure Duddits is comfortable and beloved. Are you okay, Duddits? I okay. I want you to be comfortable. I okay. How's your leukemia? Doing fine. But meanwhile, the Earth. Hello, the fucking Earth. He doesn't even run. He just kind of waddles over. It is such a.
If you didn't know that Duddits was going to be, they're staying in the car. He's like, I got to protect Duddits in the car. If you didn't think Duddits was key to defeating this alien, why did you stop and get Duddits and then bring him over?
Yeah.
It is just a phony. It is the phoniest, crappiest waste of money. I mean, there are plenty of bad films out there, but it's a real shame because this money could have fed people.
Yeah,
it could have cured leukemia.
I mean, it did feed people.
It did. It fed the people in the cast and crew. There was a crafty, I'm sure. Yeah.
Thank you to all the Max Fun members who supported us during Max Fun Drive. You're helping us as we try to put more good into the world. And as part of putting more good into the world, we've opened our annual post-drive charity sale. Max Fun members at $10 per month or more can purchase Max Fun Drive keychains featuring designs for shows across the network. And all members can buy our charity-exclusive keychain starring Mikey, our little microphone buddy from this year's Max Fun Drive. This year, we've decided to send the proceeds of the charity sale to the Center for Constitutional Rights. They're dedicated to the creative use of law as a positive force for social change, tackling issues like human rights abuses, racial injustice, and sexual and gender-based violence. These folks are fighting to make things better. So to get your keychains and support the Center for Constitutional Rights, head to MaximumFun.org/charity sale. And if you're not yet a member, you can still get in on this. To support the show you're listening to and get access to bonus content and the charity sale, just click the link in the show notes. The sale is live now, and it ends on Friday, May 15th. That's MaximumFun.org/charity sale. And thanks again.
Sleep is important, but it's difficult sometimes. I'm John Moe. On Sleeping with Celebrities, famous people help conk you out by talking in soothing voices about unimportant things. Maria Bamford on parking.
I parked in a bus stop. That's just not right. I am not a bus.
Roxane Gay on airports.
My favorite airport is Indianapolis. It has a really smart layout.
Alan Tudyk on yardsticks.
You hand somebody a yardstick, yardsticks become part of the family.
Granted, it's a weird idea, but it's lots of fun, and it works. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
We're just gonna take a little break from the chatter, the fun times we're having with Evan Dorkin, our just someone that I know. The three of us all grew up reading his comics, admire very much, and tell you a little bit about Squarespace. First of all, this podcast, did you know? It's sponsored in part by Squarespace, and it gives you everything you need to offer your services and get paid all in one place. You need a home online, and with Squarespace, you can get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. You can streamline your workflow with appointment scheduling built right in and email marketing tools. And Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed, award-winning website templates with options for all uses and categories. You can set that up with drag and drop editing. You don't need to know HTML. You got your beautiful styling options, unrivaled visual design effects. Oh, it's exciting. No experience required with Squarespace. So head to squarespace.com/flop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code FLOP to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And you know what? That's not all. We're also sponsored in part by Factor. Oh, man. Sometimes you're just hungry, but you're tired. You know what? It seems unfair that you need food to sustain and live and have energy, but you got to make it yourself. Oh, no. You don't have it in you. Sometimes eating well isn't a willpower problem. It's a setup problem. Well, that's where Factor comes in. It can help you hit your goals this season without planning grocery runs or cooking. It's got meals built around your nutrition goals, including high fiber, high protein, carb-conscious options. For strength and workout recovery, there's Factor's Muscle Pro collection. It's fresh, never frozen, with over 100 rotating weekly meals, including globally inspired flavors. I don't even know what flavors are. I don't think they have them, but they've got globally inspired flavors like Mediterranean and Asian. So there's always something new to look forward to. And they're delivered straight to your door and ready to eat in 2 minutes, so you have more time for everything you love this spring. And oh, my friends, spring has sprung in Brooklyn. Yes, mostly it's been rainy. Yes, it's going to go from too cold to too hot, but the good days are good. And speaking of good days, it'll be a good day with Factor because I like to cook. I like cooking. It's something I honestly do to unwind sometimes, but even I am sometimes like, again? I have to do this again every day? It seems unfair, and takeout is too expensive, too unhealthy to use for more than a sometimes treat. And that's where Factor comes in. I've enjoyed these meals, so head to factormeals.com/flop50 off. That's the numeral 50. And use code flop50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until that's September 27th, 2026. See website for more details. And now back to the show. We should quickly do our other brief segments.
So what do we do next, Dan?
I hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie. In case I haven't made it clear, because I may never get this shot again to say this, but I hate.
No,
this.
We'll have you back once a year to watch Dreamcatcher. Tell us how you feel about it. Yeah.
I'm stupid enough to do that.
I'm just gonna read this one letter. It's from Ian, last name withheld, who writes,
Ian Holm.
Dan and Elliot's discussion of Gold Diggers of 1933 reminded me of one of my favorite movie conventions, namely when a movie attempts to reproduce another art form in a way that only works on film and wouldn't work in the medium it's supposedly evoking. Berkeley is an obvious example since his dance numbers involve close-ups, dancers and formations that only make sense when seen from one specific angle, and transitions that would be impractical, if not impossible, to pull off live. Other examples I can think of are the ballet in the Red Shoes and the stage show in the Bandwagon, which could be performed on stage, although I have no idea how the individual numbers we see, like triplets, Louisiana Hayride, and Girl Hunt Ballet could possibly fit into the modern retelling of Faust that's the show within the show's ostensible theme. With that in mind, do you have any favorite examples of this phenomenon? Regards, Ian, last name withheld. This is another one that, like, I think it's a really interesting question. I'm coming up a little short other than things that are similar to, you know, like there's so many examples of theatrical productions where I'm like, okay, I accept it because this is a movie, but that would not be the way it is.
It drives me nuts in any film where you're watching something and there's no, it just makes no sense. Yeah, The Bandwagon is a perfect example. What does this have to do with the plot of the movie? I get that musicals are fantasy, you know, that everybody breaks into song and whatnot, but what kind of play would they make? It has nothing to do with Faust. Having Oscar Levant in a baby outfit has nothing to do with. Actually, no, I don't think Oscar Levant is in the baby outfit. I think he's not fit. It's Fred Astaire.
It's the guy, and there's the character who plays like the director of the play,
and that who was a theatrical actor. Oscar Levant was supposed to be in it, but Oscar Levant was busily engaged in drug taking, and I think if you noticed in that movie, in Oscar Levant movies, he literally walks off screen in a couple of musical numbers because he cannot do things. Okay. I love Oscar Levant. Unfortunately, he was a horrible drug addict and had a lot of problems. But there's a scene, I forget, is it like the show business? There's a show business number, and everybody walks towards you, and Oscar Levant goes, "Nope." He just goes, "I'm." But yeah, it's funny when you have a movie and they go, "We're doing this great production," and they do nothing towards that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the question is kind of getting to what is it that film.
Like showing
what works in film that wouldn't
my
work.
Answer, because Dan only sends us the questions, he doesn't send us the
full
context.
Well, I gave you
of
some clarifying context for this.
So
my complex,
thing that I was going to say was the ballet in the red shoes. But it's like something else that comes to mind. Although it's not exactly the same thing as like in the Laurence Olivier version of Henry V, how it starts out with them doing it Shakespeare style on a stage, and it turns into reality, and it's such a it's I feel like that's a really successful way of showing what happens to you when you're engrossed in a theatrical production, which is that you stop seeing it as a show and you start seeing it as a real thing. But,
it's a really neat choice too. I mean, also because it grounds it in, you know, the reality of the time to a degree. I mean, it's a really it's a neat device. I think that though we're overlooking the greatest. It's not necessarily a creative thing, but I think that Jonesy's Mind Warehouse.
Sure.
As shown in the fabulous film, the underrated film Dreamcatcher, 2003. Lawrence Kasdan, director, screenwriter with the great William Goldman. And I believe that nothing has matched this in showing the inner mind at work, the mind of a creative person at work, person involved in
psychic
arts.
person, sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, sure, if you want to bring that into it.
I do.
But Dreamcatcher. I'm also, you know, you always have you have scenes where people are envisioning their book, and you know, the scene changes to the book, or animation certainly can do things. I'm trying to think of a film that actually does that though in animation. Coming up short.
The thing that's coming to me is like
Dreamcatcher.
It's less that like, it's doing a thing that can only be done in film.
The animated series.
It's less as like doing something that can only be done in film that doesn't make sense, and more like just me being like, okay, there's some shorthand that needs to happen here for the story, but it's a silly one because like it's a Muppet movie, but it's the Muppets Take Manhattan, and even as a kid watching a Muppets Take Manhattan, I'm like, is this the whole musical that we're seeing right now? Like, it doesn't seem to be telling a full story.
Yeah, they're going to Broadway with a roughly 10-minute musical.
Yeah. And then at the end, I guess these new people can come straight into the musical without rehearsing.
Yeah. The idea that everybody bursts into song. I always thought that it would be funny if there was a scene where a musical just kind of like started up and a lot of people were like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Get off that table. Well, we're singing. Singing what? You know, but I mean, musicals, especially something like Busby Berkeley, I mean, because montages was something that, montages in general, but you can do montages in comics. You can lay out a montage on a page of comics, and it creates, you got your Eisensteinian hoo-ha going there. That is what they taught me in film school, Eisensteinian hoo-ha. But so that's not just film, but yeah. I mean, because musicals are just such can you do that you can't do it in theater unless the mechanics. I mean, can you do Busby Berkeley in theater? I know they've tried.
The closest thing I've seen to it is
mirrors to show.
Yeah, with mirrors. Like when The Producers was on Broadway, they had a big mirror so you could see that they were dancing in a swastika.
Oh, cool.
But that's not. It's not.
I was thinking cool for the staging, not for the.
I understand what you meant.
For the hate
I don't think.
But you can't. But the stuff that Busby Berkeley does in his musicals is so far beyond just they're all in formation or something like that. There's the ones where I forget which one it's in now, where they're like all flying towards the camera really fast. Each of the dancers, like they have like big blow up balls in their hands, or something like that, and they're all like flying into the air towards the camera, and it's like, what are they flying? It's supposed to be flying towards the audience. Like it doesn't, they just give up on the idea of a theatrical space.
Right. There's that one film, I can't remember the name of it, but all the stars appear in the sky in the outer space.
At the end of the gang's all here, I think.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
The gang's all here, and all of a sudden, everybody's bursting out of it's like that's some amazing theatrical production. We can only do it once. But yeah,
they're like, well, to achieve these effects, we do have to get LSD into the system of everybody in the audience.
Everyone, lick your programs.
Honestly, I was thinking about LSD because I was thinking about like the end of 2001 or movies like The Trip, where they get all. But you could sort of still do that in comics. I mean,
well, it's less that like you can or can't do it. It's whether it like makes sense when you're depicting another thing.
But I mean, a light show in your face with movement and music is obviously something you can't do in other media.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say on my end, I'm gonna do a little reference for the kids in the audience, and I was gonna say there's in the second season of Euphoria, there is one of the characters, one of the teenagers puts on a fucking play that she wrote herself. They approve this. They give her a lavish budget to have sets done, and it's basically just like shit talking the main characters in the show. It's really crazy. It's like the silliest thing.
And it is presented as a series of like scenes that make sense if you're like, in a TV show where you're like moving from like memory to but I'm like, what is this show?
Yeah, it's barely a show.
What is this play and how long is it?
It's basically just like, hey, remember when my sister did all this crazy stuff?
I've seen plays like that.
There's also just stuff like Maya Daren's films, which have to be films,
Did she do Meshes of the Afternoon? Was that her?
She does short films. I can't remember the names of them, unfortunately. But I mean, they're like.
I think she may have, Elliot.
Yeah.
They're you can't write what she's doing. You can't. Yeah. You can't really even draw it necessarily. But it's a series of images and music, like Unshen and Delu type, but more personal and even probably less representational. I'm trying to sound smart here. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I mean, experimental film. I don't know Andy Warhol's Sleep or shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that falls under it, but I certainly wouldn't want to write a book about a guy sleeping.
Just sleeping.
Yeah, and he's still sleeping. He's still sleeping. Page 400. He's still sleeping.
Well, that's This isn't the exact same thing, but like the movie The Clock, the art installation movie, where it's shots from other movies that all have a clock or a watch on screen, and it's timed with the time that you're watching it, and so you're seeing time pass in front of you through these clips, and it's almost like adapting film into an art film, and it's
adapting film into a clock.
Yeah, you're adapting film into a clock.
I haven't seen this, but have you? It's funny. It comes back to Stephen King, but talking about art, that weird version of the Langoliers TV series.
Oh yeah, the one that they did with like the torn up paper. They like cut it down and like Xeroxed the actual images and like animated the Xeroxes.
I mean, it's that might count.
Timekeepers of Eternity. I pulled it out of my that's what it's called.
I mean. it's film commenting on film in a tactical way. I mean, that's supposed to be pretty cool. I haven't seen the movie yet.
I have it on my computer. I dipped into it and I was enjoying it, and then I stopped it and I forgot about it. So this is a good reminder to.
The Langoliers is not. I think is that the one that's a vampire in a plane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is that Night Flyer?
Oh, I have a feeling it's Night Flyer.
Langoliers is the one. They're in a plane, but Langoliers they fall through a hole in space or something like that.
It has stuff that chomps up space time. Yeah. These
vampires do that.
Floating Pac-Man.
So technically correct.
They don't.
I want to chomp your space time.
We should move on to our final.
I feel like the guy kind of answered his own question, and we're fumbling around it.
Yeah.
That often happens.
That was a good question.
That often happens.
Let some academics play with that. We're doing Dreamcatcher here.
Yeah. The last part of the show is where we recommend movies.
We forget Dreamcatcher. We push Dreamcatcher out of our minds.
Yeah.
To recommend a movie.
We're burning it. We're burning it while being chased by a bad special effect.
Let's instead recommend movies that we saw and enjoyed. I'm pretty sure I recommended this in the past, but I have seen a dearth of new things that I'm really enthusiastic about. So I'm just going to return to I rewatched The Movie Orgy, listed from 1968, but it was re-edited several times and is based on even older material. So, release dates mean nothing for something like The Movie Orgy. This was Joe Dante's montage movie that started out, at one point at least, was 7+ hours, now exists in the sort of final cut of a mere 4 hours and 40 minutes or close to that. And it is... material cut from several movies of the 50s mostly, some TV stuff, commercials, it's just all sorts of footage. And it feels kind of both I don't know, the pop culture boomer psyche, but also a skeleton key to all the stuff that Joe Dante particularly loves and comes up in his movies. And, it is montage that is juxtaposed in ways that make it funny. Sometimes it just is that he lets something play out for a while and you just enjoy a clip. But it was designed for you to kind of walk in and out. It used to play colleges. People could just sort of go out and have a smoke or get some pizza or whatever and come back and they haven't really missed anything because it's not a story. But you can sit down and watch it all. And I have.
How long is this?
It is 4 hours and I believe 40 minutes now.
When did he do this?
So this was really early on. I think this was
he did this when he was a college student, right?
Yeah, he was a college student. And it has been hard to see for a number of years because of obvious rights issues. Right. It would screen, but they wouldn't make people pay for it because then you would get into real trouble. But now somehow Vinegar Syndrome, I believe it is, put out a disc. I don't know what they did to do it, but
the process of putting out a disc.
Oh, thank you. But it is available.
Take us to the
more
factories
widely
too.
Than ever before.
You would hope Dick Miller is in it multiple times.
You gotta have a Dick Miller.
I believe Dick Miller.
Really? He's not in it?
I don't know.
I don't know. You gotta have
Dan,
Dick
watch
Miller.
it again.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, whoops! I missed something. I went out for pizza during the Dick Miller.
So I'm going to recommend a movie that has nothing in common with the other movie. Well, maybe a little. I'm going to recommend a movie that came out last year from director Craig Brewer, and that is the biopic about a Neil Diamond impersonation act, Song Sung Blue, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. I am quite vocal in saying musician biopics are my least favorite type of movie. And I think that Craig Brewer has a skill when at depicting kind of lower level artists who are kind of seeking for something more, and they have kind of a humble blue collar background, and they're kind of reaching for something, and they're never going to get it, but that doesn't stop them from trying. And I think that was on display in his movie Dolomite Is My Name, that has an amazing performance from Eddie Murphy, to even something like Hustle and Flow. It's very sad, and I think there's some choices made with the life of the real life people to like add to the drama in places. But also it helps that there's a lot of music from Neil Diamond, which is a plus for me. And Kate Hudson is great in it. No surprise. So I liked it. Song Sung Blue. It's very sad at times. Warning.
I haven't gotten to see many movies of worthwhile note lately because I've been watching so many Flophouse movies. But since Dan recommended a really long movie, I'll recommend a very short movie, which is, I think I'm going to recommend Apocalypse Poo, which is a mashup movie from 1987 that mashes up Apocalypse Now and footage from Winnie the Pooh, the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. And they do a pretty, the guy who did it was Todd Graham, and he does a very good job of finding images from Winnie the Pooh that fit with the monologues and dialogue from Apocalypse Now. So this is it's just been floating around for a long time.
Is that also a Vinegar Syndrome release?
I don't believe it is, but you can find it online. It's only about 8 minutes long.
8 minutes.
Yeah, and so, but it's and even at 8 minutes, you're like, I got it. But there's some fun juxtapositions in it. So that's what I'll recommend. Evan, have you any movies you'd like to recommend for us today?
I don't watch. I watch mostly garbage, as we were saying before we started this. I really don't like. I've seen Dreamcatcher. That's the William Goldman.
I'll recommend good garbage.
I was going to recommend. Well, so I've got two, if you don't mind. They're both from 2017.
Sure.
Okay. I've tried to pick something that was made after 2000, but I didn't realize I could go to 1987. I go through phases. Like I write the movies down that I watch. I admit it. It's sad, but I admit it. My kid makes fun of me because I forget a lot of the things I watched. And I don't have time to put shit on Letterboxd. Also, if I go to Letterboxd, I'll read some of the reviews and I'll want to kill people. And it's like IMDb for college people who've been to college. It's stupid, but it has better words. So I was trying.
By the way,
to think,
Dan has a great Letterboxd.
Dan loves
Fine, but
Letterboxd.
I also believe in what Evan's saying.
Yeah.
I've wanted to, strangle a stranger for no bigger sin than they were dumb about a movie. So,
like, have you got the plot wrong? Your entire thesis, Mr. Smartass. But so I just thought, what have I liked that that's fairly recent? And for some reason, two movies popped up, and I looked them up, and they're both 2017. The first one is called November. It's an Estonian folk horror. It's the I don't really want to get into the plot because but it's an overt folk horror film. It's not one of these folk horror where you go, well, the folk horror was really kind of just on the side.
It was all our trauma all along.
It comes straight from the. It's a period piece. It's probably the only Estonian film I've ever seen, but it is gorgeous. The photography, the black and white photography, is crisp and gorgeous. I enjoyed it as a film as well. Some people only like the photography, but it just worked for me. It's deep in folklore. It's a depressing, sad film with some laughs in it. But you just look it up and you look at a couple of screenshots, and if that's what you're into. But I really like it. It's slow.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a slow burner, but I think it's beautiful and really well done. And I enjoyed it much more than a lot of these, elevated horror A24 things that people jump up and down over. It's got also an amazing opening, just a crazy, bizarre opening. It's got a dark, mordant wit to it, which is a phrase I will never use again, and I apologize for sitting there and trying to sound like an actual film fucking critic.
Yeah.
What is this, Letterboxd? Come on.
Yeah, what is this, Letterboxd?
I know. The other film is, this might have been discussed on your show or by somebody, but it's also from 2017. It's called One Cut of the Dead. And
that's one I've been meaning to watch for a long time.
So for once, I can't talk much. You won't have to, me and my jabberjaw. But One Cut of the Dead is a movie that literally people say don't say anything about it. Just go into it blind. And it's a 2017 film, Japanese film. And the only thing I would say is I think that everyone should see it, especially film fans. But you have to commit to it. You have to watch the entire thing. It's not a movie where at the last minute you get some stupid, James Wan twist. Oh, it was, the ventriloquist puppet was a corpse. Somehow you never smelled it. Ha ha. But the movie turns people off the first third, and people get bored with it and they don't watch it. You've got to watch the entire film, and I won't say anything more about it. But it's one of my favorite films that I've seen in the last few decades.
I think it's pretty scrappy. I really like the scrappiness of it.
But I mean, I don't even want to tell you how you might feel at the end of it, because I don't want anyone going into it cold, going, well, at the end we're going to end up being depressed. And I'm not saying you will, but because you've got to sit through it, and you've got to engage with it. And by the end, I think you'll be very surprised and pleased that you watched it.
I gotta watch it. I've heard such good things, and I've been trying to keep myself from hearing much about it.
That's why you should just.
Are they remaking it, or did that already happen? Or
there was a sequel. They did. There was a COVID sequel. They got the cast together and put them in character, and made a film shot online of all dealing with each other. But it's a film that I'm surprised still hasn't penetrated more than, because there are so many ways to grapple with it. But I think one of the reasons it hasn't is because people really keep the secret.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk to people who I know who like film, I'm surprised that more people haven't seen it. But generally, it's a movie where you don't want to know, and so reviews don't really give you much reason to go. Like, oh, you got, basically you're selling a car with a tarp over it. Trust. Well, it's like religion. Trust me, it'll all work out. Trust me. But you got to go through all this. You might have to go through all this shit first, or you just don't trust it. But One Cut of the Dead is one of my favorite recent, fairly recent movies, and I recommend it to everyone. But it's hard because you're like, no, you got to watch it, and I can't talk about it. I'm like, okay, why? Well,
it's only 96 minutes.
I think I'm gonna watch it next.
Not rated. So Dan, that's perfect for you.
Yeah.
I finally last night just started watching a movie that was a movie of my choice and not Flophouse choice. And so when I finished that one,
it's got to feel good, right?
It felt so good that I could finally watch this Czech comedy from the 70s that's a parody of American pulp mystery novels from the beginning of the 20th century.
It's on Tubi, right?
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's like Della hasn't had supper yet or something like that.
Yeah, I watched one of the other films, and I'm dying to see Della. I watched
was it the Castle in the Carpathians?
Castle, the Mysterious Castle in the Carpathians.
I haven't watched that one yet, and I want to. But the same guy did a movie called Lemonade Joe that I recommended on an earlier episode, which I loved.
There's a trio of films, the same villain. The guy plays the villain in all three films, the same guy.
I didn't realize how dorky this podcast is.
The Carpathians is weirdly enough, it's the only one of two Jules Verne. It's a Jules Verne book, and it's the driest comedy. And I laughed my ass off through it. I just found it's droll and weird, and it's steampunky, but it doesn't call attention to itself. It doesn't. It's very. It's like if Terry Gilliam had restraint.
Would he be Terry Gilliam then?
I don't know, and I don't care. He can eat my underwear.
But you heard it here, folks.
I was going to watch that next, but I'll watch One Cut of the Dead.
But the Carpathians film was hilarious, and I'm dying to read. I just haven't been in a mood to watch the other two because they're not, slapsticky. They're almost like, droll slapstick. People aren't smashing into each other. But the art direction is. I mean, I laughed at this film just from like art direction. There's one scene where they just show an entrance to the mysterious castle, and I laughed because it was just so oddball. But it's also a great looking film. I don't know how the other ones are, but the
other ones look good too. I mean, the Lemonade Joe looks like almost like a silent western.
Yeah,
but like they pull it off.
But I love the idea that he made like a Jules Verne steampunk. He made a western and a pulp, and I forget where the mother country where he's from is. It's just what an odd choice.
Yeah, it's Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, what an odd choice. And then he was able to make a triptych is worth looking, just fascinating because, the government didn't shoot him. I don't know, for something.
Yeah.
But that's what I was like.
You're incensing teenagers.
Yeah. I love the fact that the Tubi has this.
Tubi's amazing. It's got such a great library of
Sponsor
stuff.
us, Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi. Would you afraid of sponsoring us?
Tubi is the only streaming service that it's my first go-to, and I'm like, it's got all this horror that I love. A lot of comfort horror, Messiah of Evil, and things like that, and all this giallo, and then it has good stuff. I mean, it actually has good films too. Stuff that you used to be able to only find if you went to the Thalia. You had to go into Manhattan and go to the.
That's where I watch my Jim and the Holograms episode.
and it's got great stuff too,
and
right,
got,
Dan? Yeah,
they've got like multiple seasons of Kamen Rider and Ultraman. I'm like, that's all I need practically.
This was it's dangerous though because they have an extensive collection of Doctor Who episodes, and I'm like, is this the year I get into Doctor Who?
Yeah, I'm a recent Doctor Who convert from making fun of my friends for liking it, and I'm sitting there going through the Pertwee era, going through it's charming garbage. I mean, there's nothing funnier than watching a guy in an alien getup that involves Frogman's outfit, and he trips on his flippers, and they keep it. I mean, the sets move. I mean, I just
and all at that breakneck BBC pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I actually find myself really enjoying it on multiple levels because I'm like, it's funny, goofy stuff. It's amiable as hell. They're taking it. It's cheap and dirty and fast television making. They don't really know what they're doing, but the actors are all taking it extremely seriously.
Yeah,
and the thing is, it has a sense of humor. It has always had a sense of humor about it. But then you get to see Gene Marsh show up in looking awesome in fascist soldier's outfit. I mean, it's just the actors that show up are also interesting. It's got that Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, Alfred Hitchcock out.
Yeah, so this is the year I get into Doctor Who. Well, we've talked enough about Tubi.
Yeah.
Evan, would you like to tell us again about your book that you have out? Let's promote. What would you like to promote?
Well, if any of my jokes landed for you today, you might like my cartooning because it's very pop culture saturated. It's very much like me. Goes on too long and there's plenty of it. But Nerd Inferno is available at better comic shops, at bookshops. I don't like plugging Amazon, but if that's where you have to get stuff, not everybody has a comic shop, obviously. I mean, I think you have like a scrimshaw. You might have a scrimshaw shop more easily than you have a comic shop in your neighborhood, unless you're.
But it's like I ordered it through my local independent bookstore.
Good for you, man. Seriously, good for you.
So yeah,
that way they get a dime and I get a nickel.
Yeah, and stores will do that for you. People don't talk about it much, but if you don't want to support a big evil retailer.
I go through my local comic shop. I don't personally buy things through Amazon, but a lot of people who have found Eltingville in the last couple of years, a lot of them do not have. They're in other countries, and they do not have access to a bookstore, a comic store, let alone one that sells English work. So I mean, Barnes and Noble, you can go through Books A Million. and local bookshops and things like that, but or you can pirate it, torrent it. That's what you kids do. That's what the kids do. If you like it, throw me a dime. Throw me a dime.
That punk attitude.
Yeah, and again,
I've been writing horror stories for the EC Comics revival, Catacomb of Torment. I've got a third story just came out in the collections of that. That's from Oni Press and EC Comics.
Oh, wow.
And my stuff's been getting reprinted. I'm old enough that DC just did the Superman Adventures big books of that. World's Funnest has been reprinted multiple times, somewhat recently at DC. The Deadpool stuff that I sort of did. It's a long story. It's not really Deadpool, but it is Deadpool with has been reprinted. My Predator work has been reprinted. Things keep recycling the same way that Vinegar Syndrome or whoever keeps putting out weird old stuff.
What about your Bill and Ted books?
Bill and Ted books, I don't know if they're still in print, but the Bill and Ted run from Marvel was put out by Boom, a couple of years ago. There's a hardcover
I think that's
out
the collection I have, yeah.
The soft cover collection might be there too. I don't make anything on that, but I still promote it because I'm happy with the work.
I mean, I stole it.
You did?
No, I mean, I bought
No,
it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Please, I don't. What are you going to do, right? I mean, we're all. Oh, I've never watched a movie that my friend Paul downloaded from somewhere. We didn't all watch. We didn't all watch. We weren't all watching animated Ghibli films in the '80s that were on VHS, and you could barely see what was happening, or anything like that. Let's be honest about it. I mean, I know, kid, if you don't have the money, do what you got to do. But give an artist a buck, do something for another artist or myself. That's all. Spread it around.
Certainly don't use AI. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, I did a talk with an art class from Cal Arts yesterday, and it ended on a big. And I was very glad to see all these little messages coming up. Fuck AI. It's a thief. It's a world killer. It's putting money into the worst people's pockets, and it's just awful. It doesn't even produce good work. It's blue balls.
Mm-hmm. It's like the least nourishing fast food option.
Yeah, and we're all paying, and it'll make you sick eventually because it's making people sick. I mean, you really are pressing a button to poison somebody's town when you do that. I mean, it sounds crazy. It sounds like something out of Dreamcatcher, but you really are fucking up the environment and people's lives and stealing people's work, writing, art, and money. And it's contemptuous garbage. And it's a shame that I'm looking forward to the bubble finally popping, but it's going to be a economic nightmare because so many idiots have bet the house on this. And on that cheery note,
we live in a world run by idiots.
Buy my comic book. Yeah, buy my comic book before we all die, because that's what you need.
It'll help ferry you across the river.
Yeah.
You need those 2 coins. Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's true. And in comics, that's about what your royalties will be. 2 coins.
What more perfect note for a chat with Evan Dorkin we can end on?
They're both Canadian nickels. At least you get a beaver.
Oh, because Charon's going, you want to get across the river, eh? Oh, okay.
Hey. Well, And now we're back to beef. Now we're back to the beef.
Before we go, we should thank our network, Maximum Fun, whom you should also support because they're not AI or putting money in some bad person's pocket. You should say thanks, as we do, to Alex Smith, our producer. He goes by the name Howell Doughty on the internet, where he does music and comedy and streams and all sorts of stuff. But for this episode of The Flophouse, I've been Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, and we've been joined by...
Hello?
Evan Dorkin.
We've been joined by Evan.
Oh, sorry. I mean, the feed froze, and then Elliot's voice came out like he was on helium. I'm not
sure. Just say
pretty normal.
Say your name.
So your name, Evan Dorkin.
Perfect. We're going to do a quick intro, and then we are going to introduce ourselves, and then Elliot will introduce you, Evan.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So be prepared. He is not going to be kind.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't blame him because I know what I did to you guys.
Yeah, it's a real gotcha, I guess, situation.
I understand why you might...
The unofficial roast of Evan Dorkin.
Have any of you seen this before?
Yes.
Oh, I've seen it multiple times before.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
My wife watched it with me, and when I woke up in the morning, she was gone.
Maximum Fun.
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
Supported
directly
by you.